San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Florida. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Your San Antonio Spurs hit the road last night in Utah and took them down, 118-111. They were led by Devin Vassell, who had 31 points. Four others in double figures. Victor had 19, 8, and 6. It's opening day, and the reigning world champion Rangers, they're playing on ESPN 1250 at 6 with a pregame. Houston opens up their season against the Yankees.
How good do you want to be? From play one to the last play, we fighting. Today's about opportunity and character. We got a chance to come out here and play football. It's a blessing. Hey, every season is full of defining moments. Let's make this day a defining moment for us in our quest. Let's go, baby.
This is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star with Rob Thompson and the managing editor of Blogging the Boys, RJ Ochoa. Now, here are the guys.
Hey, gather around. We got a bunch to talk about on a Thursday morning. It is the Morning Huddle, and we can't do it without RJ Ochoa. He's managing the editing and blogging the boys, and sitting with us today, I'm Rob Thompson. Thank you so much for having us. Let me quiet that speaker down, and also welcome in Easy E. Edwin Hafner, the producer with the mostest. We got a lot to do today. I woke up this morning in a capital mood, although the Spurs kept me up late on their last West Coast swing. It was nice. We got a victory last night in the best possible way. Wire to wire, baby. Felt good. Okay. That RJ has not come out of the
my mic was off.
Oh, I thought you were driving up and down Commerce last night celebrating
the Jazz can suck it. Imagine just getting smoked by the Spurs. Right? you possibly can't.
Look what it did to the Suns.
Yeah.
The Suns got beat by the Spurs and rolled into Denver and took down the Nugs. Let me tell you, last night was a great night of NBA basketball.
That's true. Last night, means a certain thing, Rob. And it's like all I could think about as the Spurs were putting the finishing touches was, don't put us in yet. We're not going in the record books quite yet. You know what I mean? We're just like kind of like a dog, like, you know, when you're pulling its leash trying to drag us somewhere, just like putting all of its weight down. Like you're gonna have to drag us into that thing. All right, we got 3 more wins in us. I believe that at the very we'll tie history. We won't make it ourselves.
One of the old axioms of anybody who's ever played any kind of organized basketball is you never leave the gym on a missed shot. You know, you got to make your last shot. And as the Spurs wind down, now there are 9 games left. I wonder if we'll have a dropped in mic night from Wemby. Like, okay, this is it. We'll get a 35 and 20 night, 9 assists and 10 assists. We'll get a triple double to close it down. Let's drop the mic and end it. We've got some early awards nominees and winners. We'll tell you who. I believe it's Bleacher Report thinks is going to win the awards. We'll go down through that as we talk Spurs today. And Wemby gets one of the 2. We'll look at the others. Around the other NBA stories, great game last night. The Rockets are running their 11 straight. Oklahoma City, the Thunder are balling. Phoenix took down Denver on the road last night. Lots going in as the playoffs are rounding into shape. It is Sweet 16 day, and opening day, all rolled into arguably not the biggest, but maybe the best sporting day of the year. Not the biggest. It's not Super Bowl. I admit it. It's not playoff. It's not the wild card games where we get all of them rolled into 2 days. It's not that. But it is a full day of sporting fun, as I like to say. It's pretty good. It's a big sporting day light.
There's a lot going on. Call it the best if you want. The point is, it's a great day to throw some meat on the grill, to get some chips and salsa, to get your comfiest clothes on, your favorite pair of socks, your favorite blanket, whatever, sit on the couch, get a second monitor. This is that kind of weekend. You know what I'm saying? Get the other monitor out, make whatever adjustments to the living room that you have to, take off work and just sit back and enjoy. Just inhale. Just inhale. It's like let the fire hose completely and totally shower you.
Really interesting matchups tonight. We'll have Arizona and Clemson. Excuse me, UConn taking on San Diego State. North Carolina going to take on 4-seeded Alabama. Nate Oates, his assistant coach is already probably has his furniture and everything else shipped to San Antonio. Nate Oates' assistant, brand new UTSA coach, which I, now that I brought it up, need to remember his name. But we've been waiting on those guys to Alabama to lose so they can bring in Mount, is that his name? Anyway, another game is going off tonight. We're going to give you odds. If you had to, who do you got and who would you like? Make sure you go check at sasportstar.com if you're in there, your standings. You're probably behind me. I'm just going to roll that out there. Blitz is on. His name is Austin Clonch. Coach Clonch.
By the way, warm up your singing voice in terms of your bracket.
I'm feeling good, right?
You better be ready to show up to Monday show dressed like Elvis.
Well, it won't be Monday. We'll do it for the game starting next Thursday.
Also, I did want to ask you something, if you don't mind. You ready?
Well, you sound like one of my kids, and I will reserve judgment. If I tell you something, you're not gonna get mad.
Can I have $1 million?
Well, if I tell you something, you promise not to get mad. Right. I'll reserve judgment on that.
So, you've been, doing the read all week for Jason and Joe. They are
at the Circa. Yes,
that's right. Have you seen Jason's Instagram story from last night?
No, I have not. Should I?
I didn't want to bring this up because you specifically have been experiencing this massive case of FOMO.
I am. I feel like I'm missing out on this.
Even despite the weekend at hand, you've got a pork butt on the grill actually at the moment.
I do.
You know what I'm saying? So even despite all that, you've got a little itch. You know what I mean?
I got buddies in Vegas.
So that being said, Jason's Instagram story, for anybody who hasn't seen it, was him and the first post was a picture outside of the plane window about 9:30 last night. Hey, deuces out, or whatever. We're headed to Vegas. The update was from within a limousine. Him and Joe.
Yeah, I know.
All sorts of strobe lights, and let's just say they were not having a good time.
Yeah.
You think they're asleep right now?
No. I don't want to talk about it. Okay. I had a little FOMO and I just put myself past it. Sometimes you sacrifice your body for the team. Sometimes you lean into that fastball just to get on first base.
Yeah, you go take that charge.
You go take the charge, man.
Right.
Anybody who ever saw The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh knows that set shot Buford did not want to take that charge, but he did it.
Are you saying that you took a charge because you didn't go to Vegas?
Well, let's just say there were opportunities that I passed along to others.
Wow.
And I had a family thing that I had to do, but man, oh man, yeah, there's still time. In fact, if you wanted to book it right now, you could book to the Circa. There might be room. Sweet 16 is a busy time in Vegas. Greg Matt is going to be there tomorrow, I believe, throwing the pitches out. It's today. Maddox is going to be there at the book today. You can still get 20% off. Go to sasportstar.com, the Circa. Use Minix 20 to get the room rate, the rack rate, as we have reserved for you guys. It's going to be a blast out there. And I have serious FOMO. But in the meantime, we've got lots to watch and lots to talk about. Hey, coming back, what did we see in the Spurs? We're going to do a lot of Spurs talk today. You never know what to make of this team. And Pop coached his ass off last night. Was it Utah? Was it Will Hardy? Was it a well-rested Victor? What was it last night that made them run wire to wire against a team that was teetering? We'll talk about that. No new Dallas news, and maybe that's enough. Or is there any Dallas news that the blog of the boys might have thrown up there after about 10 o'clock that I missed?
No,
I didn't think so. Okay.
Tuesday was a chaotic day. Yesterday was quiet waters.
Yeah, it really was on the Western Front, but there's always worthy time for the NFL. The ramifications of the new kickoff have kind of started the ripple effect, and I do think it has altered a lot of draft books. And I do think the free agency thing is altered just a bit because of the way players are now going to be used. I heard them mention yesterday or the day before that they wanted to announce this rule change in plenty of time for free agency to play its way through and for anybody that needed to adjust their drafts according to the new requirements of this weird kickoff that we're going to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think the cannon leg kicker, like the Justin Tuckers, are going to be less valuable, or are they always going to be that valuable? or the placement guys are going to the 30. There's a lot of 35-yard field goal kickers out there, 40-yard field goal kickers, lots of them, and they have great accuracy and great placement, but they just don't have the NFL leg. But now that you're trying to get that lob wedge in, and now that you can maybe not have to keep some expendable bodies,
I think a better way to put this is that maybe now, maybe because if you're not, Justin Tucker from a field goal standpoint, you might have a new level of worth. You know what I'm saying? Like you might there might be like a new, reason to keep you around because you might be super accurate at this. We've talked a lot about in the past Madden and how they've gotten away and gotten rid of features and then brought them back and tried to convince you that there's something new in their horrible scheme of an operation in terms of how EA operates. But whatever, I've got no bad blood against EA. That being said, there used to be a mode where it was actually for punting. It was a little mini game and it was called Coffin Corner.
Oh man,
you would try to like almost pooch it. I mean, granted, it was a punt and that's more natural in terms of that motion. But you would try to land it in the corner and either, have it die or roll out of bounds, like at the 2 or 3 yard line, whatever. And so that's a skill now. That's an asset, but doing it off of a tee, right? What I think is interesting is, and we didn't talk about this, and I don't mean to prick at the new rules, but you know how sometimes when it's really windy, they have to have a placeholder because the ball won't sit on the tee. Well, and so now, and that was okay because they could still run, you know what I mean, and catch up to everyone else. Now, everyone is 25 yards ahead of them on the kickoff team. You're down a man if it's windy. You know what I'm saying? Because that someone's got to sit back and serve as the place kick holder.
You know what? That's one of those things that I hadn't even considered. But I had read in the rules before I had seen it explained, visibly by the XFL that there was an allowance for a holder. But
so
when they were showing
12th man on the field,
no. See, I believe the holder, once the kick was made, could get up and get to the line. Like he had time to get to where he needed to be because everybody can't move till the guy catches the ball.
You think that you can cover 25 yards in that time, and even if
Easily.
you can,
have you seen me? I'm cat-like.
But even if you can. One of the main benefits of the new rule is that there isn't, this massive contact happening. You get what I'm saying? Like that's the whole point is that the contact is minimal,
right?
Because the players are starting.
But I do believe
close
there
to
was.
one another.
I think that is the answer, though. You're not going to be one man down. You have hold,
just a question I have.
And then you get up and run to the line. I think that, as it was described to me, that permutation had been, at the very least, discussed.
I just think we have identified a glitch in the Matrix.
Oh, there's lots of glitches in the Matrix. Just watch the Spurs. How the hell did they go to Utah and do what they did? Did the Utah allow it or did the Spurs go take it? We're going to look at what they did last night. And for the second time since the beginning of February, the Spurs have a winning streak. It's only 2, but it is a start. We're looking at what they did and how they did it coming up very quickly. Following that, we'll look around the Sweet 16 landscape. Who you got, who you want, as we start the best weekend in sports. Hold on. It wouldn't be any fun unless RJ Ochoa was part of your day. He'll be right back with me. This is the Morning Huddle here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on the Blitz, we are live from Las Vegas, circa Las Vegas, in fact, and there's a lot going on. Opening day of Major League Baseball.
Plus Sweet 16. We'll talk some NFL. John McClain joined us at 5:15. Blackjack, craps, slot machines, and did you see that at the pool? Woo! The Blitz starts live at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
I still get PMS. You know what I mean? So
why
I
don't
don't
you get
know.
a hysterectomy? California,
Actually, I've
they
had
pay
a
for
partial
everything.
hysterectomy, smart ass.
Why didn't you get a full?
I don't know. I don't know why they didn't just gut me.
When they gut you, like a fish, do you age out quicker? Does that estrogen keep you a little younger?
Do you flop around on the dock?
The John Clay Wolf Show, every Saturday morning.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show, Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon, right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
When it's time for the March Mania brackets, the bus wide open. As I was saying, it's mad. The Mania of March at BetUS.com is all about those buzzer beat bonus offers. And when the madness starts and Cinderella man steps onto the BetUS always has your back with back.
to back-to-back 125% sign-up bonuses on your first 3 deposits, and even 10% gambler's insurance. BetUS.com Sportsbook and Casino, where the game... Join today. BetUS Sportsbook and Casino, where the game begins.
Ulta Beauty's semi-annual beauty event is happening now. Unleash your love for beauty with 50% off daily beauty steals on hair, skin, makeup, and fragrance. Shop your favorite brands like Tarte and Fenty Beauty by Rihanna. Plus, grab perfect hair care pairs from brands like Redken and Olaplex. And check out new arrivals from brands like Charlotte Tilbury and Dyson. Shop the Ulta Beauty semi-annual beauty event online, in-store, or try pickup today. Now through March 28th. Ulta Beauty. The possibilities are beautiful. Conditions apply.
When Cynthia came to TurboTax, she just launched her new side gig, a true crime podcast.
I'm a first-rate detective with a golden voice.
As her TurboTax expert, I made her second income count by guaranteeing 100% accurate filing and her maximum refund.
What did she do with that refund? Find out next week.
Switch to Intuit TurboTax and make your moves count. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
The LaTappe, Texas cycling races are back in San Antonio, April 12th to the 14th. Cyclists of all ages, register now to ride in the 100, 60, or 25-mile Tour de France amateur cycling events. You can run, walk, cycle, and celebrate all things Fitness Fiesta at the Athletes Village and Expo. LaTappe, Texas. Register today at fiestafitfest.com. Presented in part by Thomas J. Henry.
Hard work, dedication, and dreams. These are the keystones of success. But easily filing your taxes with TurboTax and Credit Karma doesn't hurt either. And getting your max refund guarantee definitely doesn't hurt. But let others think you did a lot of hard work to file your taxes when in reality, it was a walk in the park. No, you literally filed while walking your dog in the park. Winner! Because some key info is pre-filled for you, so you can file quickly and confidently like the boss that you are. So give yourself the peace of mind that comes with getting expert help, because you're going places. Let's go! And make tax season feel like it's award season with easy filing. Yeah! Know that you're backed by the leading tax preparer, TurboTax, and we'll show you all your filing options up front, so there are no surprises. Feel accomplished and confident that your taxes are done right. File an Intuit Credit Karma today. Yeah. Expert help not available with all products. Guarantee details available at turbotax.com/guarantees.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential. But finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Check out the 2024 Basketball Mayhem at sasportstar.com. Enter your best bracket for the chance to win an incredible $1 million prize at sasportstar.com.
Hey, huddle up. Smell that freshly mowed grass. Drink in opening day and all the promise that is. I hope the spring breezes are blowing and wherever you are, it's your opening day. Wow, that's a happy thing to say. Well, I didn't even think I had that in me.
Congrats.
Thank you. Thank you. I see you're appropriately adorned in your Astros gear.
Yeah, well, it's opening day, man. Get pumped, hyped. Have some semblance of excitement in your life.
We're a Rangers house.
I mean, look, we can all be excited about different things at different points.
We used to be able to do that, man. Back when they were on separate sides of the fence and would see each other a couple times in July, but never after that.
Wow.
And now you got to choose a side, man. Did you ever see the movie
What side
Colors?
have you chosen? What's that?
Movie Colors. Back in the early 90s.
The movie Colors?
Yeah.
I don't know what movie you're talking about.
It's the movie, and its title is Colors.
I can understand that much, but I've never heard of this movie.
I'm gonna have to. I want you to IMDb. You've never seen Colors with Sean
I've never
Penn
heard of
and
it.
Robert Duvall.
I've never heard of this movie.
I need the
I have no idea.
brigade bar to shame my co-host. You've seen
Colors?
I don't. I'm not. You're of a different generation, and there's a lot of
experienced
movies that
an experienced cop and his rookie partner patrol the streets of East Los Angeles while trying to keep the gang violence under control.
Bachman.
Sean Penn, Robert Duvall, Maria Conchita Alonso, Randy Brogan. Don Cheadle's in this movie. Hey,
yeah,
okay.
man, he's high top.
He's Rocket. That's his
Rocket.
name.
That's right. High top turned out Rocket. That's right.
Man, you're not even a fan,
I
dude.
know, man. That blew it right there. There went all my cred.
Wow.
You were under assignment. I know that's a busy.
Nope.
I think we need to create a list of pop culture touchstones that from my generation that the next generation needs to get. So you get us. I'm seeing a lot of things in my social media.
You're going to build a time capsule
well,
or
I'm
something?
seeing a lot of things in my social media cycles, algorithms, whatever, where there's all these discussions about the different generations and it's the millennial look and the Gen Z look at us, the Gen Xers, and like how we don't give an F and how we were raised so entirely different from you guys and how we just really don't get each other. This is one of the reasons why. That low
narrative
these many years have
is
passed.
being perpetuated by one group.
And Robert Duvall and Sean Penn and the greatness that was Colors you haven't seen.
Wow. Jesus says, what do you think? What do you expect? RJ thinks Bad Boys 2 is the best movie ever made. It is.
Well,
and again, it has a cameo from a great friend of the show, Dan Marino.
Yes.
So, yeah.
There.
Why don't you back off, Jesus? Bad Boys 2 rocks. All right. What's this movie called? True Colors?
No, Colors.
Oh. Okay.
It's not a Cyndi Lauper song, which is of the same era, kind of. But Colors,
When do you think the Spurs took over a positive win probability and never let go?
At the tip? I mean, at what point?
That's not correct.
I don't think were they ever behind?
So the last moment that Utah had a positive win probability last night was when this really speaks to who the Spurs are. At the moment, San Antonio was up 15-8, and Utah still held a 53.1% win probability. But shortly after that, the difference that swung this was a missed shot. So once Devin Vassell got the rebound, San Antonio took over 50.3%, up 15-8 with 6:14 left in the first quarter. From that moment on, it was all Spurs, baby.
I don't think they were ever behind. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. There might have been 2-0 if it was that. But it was a get up and go kind of game. And, no Keldon. So I do think there was a little bit of added pressure on the starters. They knew what they were dealing with. And Keldon had a nice little streak. Victor looked rested. And let's give some love, man. There are some nights Devin looks, all NBA-esque. And that was last night. He was spectacular last night. And when he takes such difficult shots, there's just something, and he's able to take them. It's that high arc that, his elbows are high. He's got a form that allows him to take shots that a lot of guys wouldn't even try, just because he's got an extension and an ability to get that ball high before he releases it. And when he's off, you go, man, if you'll just, take another dribble, take another cut or a better angle, you'll be better open. But when he's covered and you see him take that, it's a beautiful thing to see. There's not too many players in the league that are better shot makers covered than he is.
4-3 was the only Utah lead in the night, just to answer your literal question. But Devin, just tremendous. 12 of 20 overall, 4 of 8 from downtown, 31 points. Just did a lot of work. I mean, on the night, a pretty average night for Wemby, like Wemby average, you know what I mean, which is a little bit elevated, obviously. That's really good for him. I mean, he really has. If you look at the season, the inflection point for Devin was the New Orleans loss. Like, everything really changed from that moment on.
He took a lot of heat, and from that point on has become a little bit more cognizant of the environments he's in. And I don't think anybody has ever told him, dude, if you're open, don't pass it up. But the plan is for the team to score first, second for Victor, and third for you. And if that's how it works, the number one goal will be achieved by the third one. So I think he's starting to get that when he's making shots, life is easier for everybody else. You talked about Wemby. Average night in every category, including turnovers. And I forgive me if I'm now fixated on that.
How can you not be at 6 turnovers? How can you not be?
Turnovers, and 3 of them were as dumb as 8th gradish as 20-year-oldish.
That's not far removed from 8th grade. That's what I'm
saying. To be real, but he's making errors that kids make. I mean, dribbling off your foot, stepping out of bounds, bounce passing like you think you're magic. I mean, dude, stop it. And I think he played fewer minutes because Pop yanked him one time. Like that was just stupid. And did you notice there was one play? I believe it was in the second quarter. He's trying to back, I don't know which victim it was for Utah, about to back him down. And he's on the right baseline, and he stepped out of bounds and dribbled it off his foot. It was just as clumsy as it could have been. There was 2 ways he could have turned it over. And as he was running down the court, you could see Pop with his arms crossed, and Wemby actually put his hands up to his head. He's kind of like, you can tell it is a stressor now that, for you to take that next step, everything else has been phenomenal. You can cover more ground than we thought. The block shots are exactly where we thought we'd be. You're getting the idea of team defense, and you're not late on help. And you understand grab and goes versus grab and gets. You're getting all those things that NBA players start to become. But this turnover stuff is going to ruin your team.
It's going to ruin his game too. I mean, that's where, like, if you really want your identity to be this as a scorer, you know what I mean, as a ball handler, dude, you almost like, I don't mean this in an exaggerated way, but he can't be trusted right now. Is that not fair to say? Like, you can't totally trust his, you don't feel confident when he's running things. You can't. How could you?
Some of it's incumbent on the coach and the team to not put him in situations, or not to allow him to be in situations where you're going to do that, where he's going to have to take more than 3 dribbles with his back to the basket. Just don't give him the damn ball. That's part of the point guard responsibility. And some of it is absolutely him. Understand when and when not to do things. And that's going to come with time. But then there's just the dumb stuff where you know full well, most guys wouldn't do this, but you think you're so great and so different that you can do it. Don't be that guy. Just do the regular stuff, and the great stuff will come natural. But you can see sometimes he's just trying to be, Mr. Pivot Post, come off me, bounce pocket pass to you without anybody seeing. Like, dude, first of all, if you're in the paint, if you look down and the wood beneath your feet is a different color than another part of the court, shoot it. If you see a different color paint, turn and find the rim and shoot it. You're 7'4". Go do it.
I know that when you were a youth, you played wide receiver a lot.
Yeah, I was lofty. That was speedy. I was hands.
I know that was your thing.
Mm-hmm.
And when you are playing wide receiver and you're getting coached, every 8-year-old's out there trying to one-hand catch everything. Every coach is screaming, two hands counts the same. You know what I'm saying? Two hands counts the same as one. And there's a little bit of that to Wemby's game. You know what I'm saying? Like, not that literally, but there's a little bit of, dude, it doesn't have to be so flashy. You know what I mean? Like, we're not, this isn't an N1 mixtape. You know what I mean? Like, just play some fundamental basketball. You have all of the extracurriculars down. You have all the things for the highlight package. So just do the fundamental things the right way and don't average. He's had 5, 7, 5, and 6 turnovers in his last 4 games. Dude, you simply can. You're talking, what's that? We're talking 23 turnovers in his last 4 games. It's impossible. I mean, and I understand, he's very tall and the ball has to go a long way when he dribbles it. And that leaves him susceptible to some things. And if he was just getting picked over and over again, I think we could sit here and we could explain it away like that. But you're walking out of bounds. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, be careful here.
It is just those little things that I think we're all getting a little tired of. And I think he's realizing it and Pop's leaning on him about it. But 2 straight, they've stacked a winning streak together. Let's see if they can bring that home. They got the Knicks on Friday night in our Frost Center coming back. Oh, my goodness, how sweet it is. We've made it. Sweet 16 is here. Who you got and who do you want? Let's look at the games tonight and look at the possibilities of one shining moment right here on the Morning Huddle here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is your home for college basketball's national championship.
On their way to their 12th national title game.
68 teams, Sweet 16, Elite 8, the Final 4, one winner takes all. Hear it all on your home for March Madness. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, presented by Westwood One.
Don't let pain keep you from doing the things you love. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett from Arasti. At Arasti, we fix pain fast. Whether you've been living with chronic and nagging pain for years, or if you've recently experienced an injury, our goal is to get you out of pain as quickly as possible. Arasti is completely natural and non-invasive. Plus, Arasti accepts most insurance plans. There's a location near you. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
Gomez Law Firm has been taking care of the people of San Antonio for almost 50 years, the leader in personal injury law. Jose, tell us a little bit more about what you do.
We do ride-sharing cases, 18-wheeler cases. Obviously, we've done those for very many years. Work injuries. We will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then you need to visit joegomezlaw.com.
We've been around for almost 50 years, and we're not going anywhere.
Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit, hims.com/joy.
We're David and Greg Figueroa, founders of Melinda's Hot Sauce. If we were a big corporate brand, we might hire a voice actor. But we're not, so we'll just tell you about our 41 unique flavors of Kraft Hot Sauce. Dude, we can talk about the way we balance heat with the fresh flavor of real ingredients. Wow, nice. Set your mouth on flavor with Melinda's Hot Sauces. Find them at your local retailer or online at melindas.com. That's melindas.com.
Savings. Now that's speaking the Lowe's language. And with my Lowe's Rewards, your savings just keep coming. Save money with member-only offers and earn points when you shop. More points equal more rewards just for you. Because Lowe's knows you earned it, literally. Learn more about our new loyalty program at Lowes.com/MyLowe'sRewards. Program subject to terms and conditions. Points are awarded on eligible purchases. See Lowes.com/terms for full details. Subject to change.
Public health is more than healthcare. Public health looks at the health of a community. At Metro Health, we research the risk of illness and take action to stop the spread of infectious diseases. We introduce prevention and early detection activities that help individuals enjoy healthier lives. We protect against environmental health hazards. Metro Health collaborates with community partners to improve health outcomes because we are all public health. Celebrate National Public Health Week with us. Learn more at sa.gov/health.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-2706. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-2706. That's 800-575-2706. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hey, honey, I'm home.
Bob, I just hung up with Joe. It's the 4th time he's called this week. He says he's worried because for the first time in 12 years, you didn't buy my anniversary jewelry from him.
You didn't tell him, did you?
No, I didn't tell him how we made the switch to Diamonds Direct and how much I love my new diamond ring or these incredible diamond stud earrings you got me either.
Bob's gonna go nuts when he finds out. But I can't believe how all these things he used to say about Diamonds Direct just aren't true. And the prices are a lot better than his.
Yeah, and what I love is the free service at Diamonds Direct. I can get my jewelry cleaned anytime. And everyone there is like family.
Are you getting all you deserve from your jeweler? You might be surprised. Maybe it's time to make the switch to Diamonds Direct for guaranteed better value, selection, service, and quality.
If he comes up on the caller ID, just don't answer it.
All right, but we can't keep dodging him. You know we're going to see him at the family reunion.
Yeah, I know.
Diamonds Direct. No middleman, no pricing games, no compromises. Get details and showroom directions at diamondsdirect.com.
Have you gotten your hands on Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at HEB yet? Southern Recipe small batch offers big, bold flavors like hot honey, spicy dill, and sea salt and cracked black pepper. Bonus, you're going to love the low-carb, high-protein crunch. Turn snack time from ordinary to extraordinary with flavorful pork rinds. Pick up your favorite flavors of Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at HEB today.
Howdy, San Antonio. This is Andrew Monaco, and you're locked on the home of the Aggies, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, huddle up. I got tickets. Anybody want to go see Korn? Good. 656-3776. 656 ESPN is the number to use on your device at this precise moment. If you're caller number 4, you get to talk to Edwin, which will make anybody's day, and he will ensure that you are prepared to go see Korn. They'll be in coming to San Antonio, coming up here in the fall. Let me get you the appropriate dates here in front of me. And this isn't the only thing I have to give away today, but Korn will be coming October the 21st to the Frost Bank Center. It's a Live Nation joint, RJ. If you want to buy them, you can go there. They're bringing Gojira and Spirit Box with them, so if you can't win them, buy them at livenation.com. Caller number 4. Going to go see them on us. Thanks for listening this morning, Brigade Bar folk. If you're watching us live, you can speak to us via the scroll. You can call us at 656-3776, 656-ESPN, but hold off on that. We got rack lines. We're giving away those tickets. And we're going to give away what else do I have today?
You're giving away your mortgage.
Godzilla X Kong. Not V, but X. I don't get that. You ready to watch some basketball tonight? Caitlin won't be playing until 2:30 on Saturday, so you can go ahead and the second most important thing in the world is the NCAA tournament. The most is Caitlin. The numbers bear it out. People are paying more attention to this than it is phenomenal, the Caitlin thing. And I think at the end of the day, it just shows, hey man, we love basketball. No matter who's doing it, we'll watch it if it's played well.
Which game are you most looking forward to today?
Obviously, UConn.
It's going to keep us up late, by the way.
Well, yeah, this is tomorrow. We're all going to be surly, but I think we'll be happily surly. UConn first and foremost, because I have them winning it all, so I kind of need them to progress for my tournament to kind of end up, no matter how bad it will be. I'd like to prolong the pain, at least push it down the road a little bit. So I'm certainly looking for UConn tonight. Tonight is not my favorite night. Tonight's the battle of the bracket fillers and my champions tonight. I mean, my champion. But other than that, I'm really interested to see Alabama because I think they're kind of unsung. The SEC has not performed well. And of all the teams to perform well, it's not that Alabama's a surprise, but this is an opportunity for Nate Oates, their head coach, who's been a kind of a comer lately. He's there for this is his fourth year. To kind of take that next step in the coaching echelon. For me, as a kind of a college basketball nerd, I want to see if Nate Oates is up to the task in North Carolina and all of that. It would be a worthy win for the SEC over the ACC and that kind of underbelly. I like that run. I want to see UConn go at it as well. It's interesting. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, today could be, I think, the national champions playing today.
Because it's not UConn?
Well, I picked UConn, so it better be.
Okay.
But I think that Arizona is kind of the team that's hiding in plain sight that we're not talking about enough. Like, we've gotten all obsessed with UConn, obviously. Purdue's gotten a lot of discussion. On the other side, we're starting to give, even Duke's picking up a little bit of love these days. But Arizona is right there. I mean, even Marquette, it feels like, is getting more discussion than Arizona at this point in time. Like, they're right there.
Well, I don't know the number, but it's been 30 years or thereabouts since a team west of Waco has won a national championship. And Arizona has ruined more brackets over the years than any Missouri Valley Conference upstart, than any team that came out of the SEAC or MEAC or SWAC or whatever these are that broke tournaments in the past. Arizona has killed more of them. So forgive me if I don't put a lot of trust. I don't care the coach. I don't care the star. This one does feel different, though. I will admit, because everybody just refuses to give them any love. And I think it's also kind of a byproduct of the Pac-12's death by 1,000 cuts. And here they're still around, even though this is basically it. I think there's some of that. But when you look behind the scenes at the stories, the kid that transferred from North Carolina, Love, is a legitimate NBA ball player who was a McDonald's All-American who just didn't work out in North Carolina and has flourished there. So there might be a reason for them to be successful, and I think the key to that is the reason they'll be successful is something that is not of original Arizona origin, whatever that is, because in the past, going all the way back to Sean, it just didn't matter how good they were going to stub their toe. The game tonight, they're playing Clemson, which is kind of a surprise.
I choose to believe, and they're playing the lowest seeded team today, if you put any stock into that. They're playing a Clemson team that I think win. I know, but of the underdogs today, I think that Clemson's probably the most or the least formidable, right? Like, I think people can talk themselves into San Diego State, people can talk themselves into Alabama, people can talk themselves into Illinois, but it's a lot more difficult to talk yourself into Clemson kind of going on this little run starting here today.
I'm glad you brought up the Iowa State-Illinois game, because that's one of those, we're not really paying enough attention to the game, because not only is it a clash between Big 12 and Big 10, but these are kind of neighbors. There's some subterfuge going on in this that goes deep. The guys that they're going to be playing against, they grew up playing against each other, both AAU and high school. This is kind of a conference rematch, even though it's not. Illinois is a solid basketball team that could either pound Iowa State with their size or Iowa State's defense. You talk about puncher's chance. Iowa State plays as good a defense as Houston. I mean, the total quality of their guards isn't quite what Houston is, but that's a rough, tough basketball team that could easily sneak places where, we're putting Arizona. I would put Iowa State right there. Not given enough credit, but remember what they did to Houston.
Right.
I mean, they pantsed that team.
Pantsed.
On national TV, conference championship. Pulled their pants down on national TV. Beat them by like 25.
I mean, I think this is UConn's day, though, ultimately. I mean, we can sit here and we can try to talk somebody else into serious consideration. Like, nobody that's playing today is on UConn's level. Would you agree?
No, they're not. And what more than most of the teams is they're getting better by the day. They're healthier now. Castle can play. He's healthy. The way that Klingon is playing, he's working himself up the draft board. And, the way that the Hurley method of coaching is kind of like going through Marine boot camp. By the time, boot camp sucks, but, and some of the things you have to go through in boot camp normally aren't in front of folks like the way Hurley coaches, but the crucible is tough. And sometimes with the Hurleys, the practices are harder than the games. Not sometimes, always. So by the time they get to the tournament, this is easy. And they're getting beaten up during the regular season, and it's boot camp. But right now, UConn is better today. They're still improving. It's not like some of the teams try to get as good as they can get at the beginning of the tournament. They're going to be better tomorrow. There's just something about the way the Hurley method of putting teams together. We got more, certainly a whole lot more to talk about. We're going to look around the NFL landscape. We promised you to catch up on any Dallas Cowboy doings, but there was none. Are you paying attention to the rest of the NBA? Coming back, the Western Conference is cooking. Did you see what Houston's doing? And oh my goodness, what got into Phoenix other than a whooping from San Antonio? The rest of the West, we're talking about it next. This is the Morning Huddle, and you're on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on the Blitz, we are live from Las Vegas, circa Las Vegas, in fact, and there's a lot going on. Opening day of Major League Baseball.
Plus Sweet 16. We'll talk some NFL. John McClain joined us at 5:15. Blackjack, craps, slot machines, and did you see that at the pool? Woo! The Blitz starts live at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Do you want the most money for your used car and a hassle-free process? Give me the VIN. We'll beat your written CarMax offer or write you a check for $100. It's that simple. Give me the VIN is fast, easy, reliable, and pays top dollar for your car. It's that simple. Give me the VIN is A+ rated by the BBB. Get an instant cash offer and the most money for your used car right now at GiveMeTheVIN.com. America's best car buyer.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVIN.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Are you ready to party with a purpose? Taste of the Northside is Thursday, April 18th at the beautiful Security Service Event Center. This elevated fiesta event for foodies includes on-site covered parking, entertainment, unlimited tastings from over 30 premier restaurants, countless curated wines and craft beers, hosted by Brighton Center, presented by HEB. Purchase tickets at tasteofthenorthside.org. Proceeds benefit Brighton Center, the largest nonprofit in San Antonio serving children with disabilities through pediatric therapy and education initiatives.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Get the one and done you want for your dog's monthly protection. NexGard Plus, afoxolaner, moxidectin, and pyrantel chewable tablets. Protects against fleas, ticks, heartworm disease, roundworms, and hookworms. All in one delicious beef-flavored soft chew. Use with caution in dogs with a history of seizures or neurologic disorders. Dogs should be tested for existing heartworm infection prior to starting a preventive. Ask your vet about NexGard Plus Chews.
Did you know one of the best investments you can make? It's in yourself. At My Computer Career, in just a few months, you can start your new career in the high-demand, recession-resistant field of information technology. Isn't it time you invest in you and start a career in networking, cybersecurity, AI, or upskill to boost your current IT career? So get the ROI you deserve at My Computer Career. No experience necessary. Start now at mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
When it's time for the March Mania brackets to bust wide open. As I was saying, it's mad. The Mania of March at BetUS.com is all about those buzzer beat bonus offers. And when the madness starts and Cinderella man steps onto the BetUS always has your back with back-to-back 125% sign-up bonuses on your first 3 deposits and even 10% gambler's insurance. BetUS.com Sportsbook and Casino, where the game... Join today. BetUS Sportsbook and Casino, where the game begins.
World Championship Boxing is coming to San Antonio. Freddie Roach, legendary trainer of rising star Gio Cabrera, will be headlining the boxing event of the year at the Boeing Tech Port Arena. Stars like Justin Figueroa, Shariah Moreau, along with several Texas fighters are set to light up the ring. Don't miss this epic showdown. Saturday, March 30th. Doors open at 5 p.m. Get your tickets now at dnpboxing.com or call 210-600-3699 for details. Brought to you by Everlast, Quintana Rum, and Desi Martinez Promotions.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hard work and dreams lead to success, but easily filing your taxes with TurboTax and Credit Karma doesn't hurt either. Make filing taxes a walk in the park because we'll pre-fill your info for you so you can file quickly and confidently. Winner! Get the peace of mind that comes with expert help. Let's go! Being powered by TurboTax means you're backed by the leading tax preparer, and we'll show you all your filing options up front so there are no surprises. File your taxes on Intuit Credit Karma today. Expert help not available with all products. Guarantee details available at turbotax.com/guarantees.
Check out the 2024 Basketball Mayhem at sasportstar.com. Enter your best bracket for the chance to win an incredible $1 million prize at sasportstar.com.
It's the Morning Huddle. Here on San Antonio Sports Starts Thursday. You got till about, I'll say the boys are going to do their show prep about when they wake up, or at least when they either run out or cash out from the craps table today. They'll get the show ready, I would say, by about noon our time, about 2 o'clock our time when they're going to go live. You better get your picture submitted for the $50 gift card from Tri-County Meat Market prior to that. So if you've got one, go ahead and load it up there. Go to sasportstar.com, upload it. You could walk away or have one sent to you. A $50 gift card from Tri-County Meat Market just for your efforts. Upload a picture of the meat, describe how you did it, and you could have that prize that we all want so badly. It's one of the 4 majors coming up this weekend as it's the Easter holiday weekend. So nothing better than a visit to Tri-County for that. I watched the Rockets last night win what are they at 10 games? They're playing some phenomenal hoops. You know, taking a minute to round into form, but those old heads are finally helping the young heads figure out how to win basketball games in late March and early April. And they're a scary team, man.
Houston?
Yeah, man. They put up points in buckets. And the thing about Houston is they got 3 guys on that team, Jalen number 1, that will embarrass you if given the opportunity. They don't want to just beat you. They will embarrass you. And that's what they did last night.
10 in a row. You were right for the Rockets. 37 and 35 overall. So they've gotten north of 500, just a little bit ahead of the Jazz, by the way.
You're welcome, James.
Yeah. They're still on the outside looking in, though, hunting down Golden State. I don't know if they're going to get there, or the Lakers for that matter, but something to be proud of. You didn't get Wemby, but at least you have this.
The Warriors were doing some scoreboard watching. Draymond got thrown out early. And, here's to the magic of Steph Curry, because he put them on the back and they went and won a basketball game. They had to win if they have any expectation of play in or play off. But did you see post game? Steph sad guy Curry, like they are so done with Draymond. How many times do you have to hear Steph? And was it Steve Kerr yesterday say, yeah, it's his fault?
Yeah, I mean, how could you not be right now? Like, who is Team Draymond right now? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like everybody's patience is just really, really not even worn thin, but worn out. That's the way it goes.
Hey, we're staying with the NBA theme. The Spurs win in Utah. Can they bring it back to the Knicks? What did we see from Wemby? And Devin Vassell showed out. We're talking Spurs, looking around the league, and it's a Sweet 16 Thursday. It's going to be a fun next hour. Oh, and by the way, Ian Eagle. Yeah. RJ interviewed him, and we'll have it here, too. This is the Morning Huddle, and you're on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
KTFM Floresville. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, your home for the Aggies.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, a Pfizer vaccine.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine. It can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
At Target, count on our great deals just in time for Easter. Save $5 when you spend $30 on toys with Target Circle, so you can fill their baskets with fun, like cuddly stuffed animals or 50-piece sidewalk chalk, all from only $5. Add an Easter chocolate faves at BOGO 50% off, from Cadbury to Reese's mini eggs and more. And get great family picks with new Easter looks. It's easy with 20% off dresses, polos, and more. Hop in fast for our best Easter deals, only at Target. Restrictions apply.
I feel good.
Dad, are you singing to your cereal?
Yes, I am, like I knew that I would.
No, a dance too?
Come on, Ava. Silk almond milk starts the morning on a high note. Yow!
Songs, dances, and dad jokes.
So good. So good. I got you.
Silk almond milk.
With calcium, vitamins A, D, and E.
Feel plenty good.
Ulta Beauty's semi-annual beauty event is happening now. Unleash your love for beauty with 50% off daily beauty steals on hair, skin, makeup, and fragrance. Shop your favorite brands like Tarte and Fenty Beauty by Rihanna. Plus, grab perfect hair care pairs from brands like Redken and Olaplex. And check out new arrivals from brands like Charlotte Tilbury and Dyson. Shop the Ulta Beauty semi-annual beauty event online, in-store, or try pickup today. Now through March 28th. Ulta Beauty. The possibilities are beautiful. Conditions apply.
When Cynthia came to TurboTax, she just launched her new side gig, a true crime podcast.
I'm a first-rate detective with a golden voice.
As her TurboTax expert, I made her second income count by guaranteeing 100% accurate filing and her maximum refund.
What did she do with that refund? Find out next week.
Switch to Intuit TurboTax and make your moves count. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
Jason Minix here from the Blitz. You know, with the tournament here, the college basketball pick'em is the easiest way to get in on the action and a fan favorite way to play fantasy sports. You've made your bracket. It's probably already kind of ugly. Well, there's another way to keep playing with your bracket already busted. It's the pick'em game at Underdog Fantasy, where you pick between 2 and 5 players to build your pick'em entry. And all you have to do is select higher or lower on all different kinds of stats in this week's tournament games for a chance to win big. Up to 100 times your money in a single night. Endless projections to choose from. Create your own experience. So download the Underdog Fantasy app or go to UnderdogFantasy.com. Sign up with my promo code STAR and Underdog will match your first deposit up to $100. Plus, you'll get a mystery special pick to use in your first pick'em entry. Must be over 18 and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Again, promo code STAR at UnderdogFantasy.com. If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. To have payment plans, call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can it keep me warm when I'm cold?
Wait, no, I'm always hot. Sleep Number does that. The Climate 360 smart bed actively cools or warms up to 13 degrees on either side for your ideal sleep temperature. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. JD Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store. And now save $1,000 on our most popular Sleep Number smart bed. Ends Saturday. For JD Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
94.1 FM. San Antonio's Sports Center.
The San Antonio Spurs left the friendly confines of the Frost for the Delta Center in Utah and took down the Jazz 118-111, led by Devin Vassell, who had 31 and 6, filled boxes with 5 others with double figures. Spurs come back home against the Knicks on Friday night. It's opening day in Major League. The Texas Rangers open the season against the Cubs today at 6.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Wemby goes behind the back here. Oh, little sidestep and a jam by Wembenyama. Oh, it's knocked away by Wembenyama.
This is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star with Rob Thompson and the managing editor of Blogging the Boys, RJ Ochoa. Now, here's Rob and RJ.
Hey, gather around. There's a bunch to talk about. It's the Morning Huddle here on San Antonio Sports Star. He's RJ Ochoa. I'm Rob Thompson. Happy opening day. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. But as the evergreen season begins, this Spurs season is winding down. This is first time, second time since the beginning of February. The Spurs have stacked 2 wins. They take down the Utah Jazz 118-111. Devin goes bananas with 31. Victor had 19, 8, and 6, and 5. Kind of a pedestrian day for Wemby, but that double-double, his 21st game with 5 blocks this season, is the most by a rookie since Shaq, who had 23, and Alonzo had 24, Alonzo Mourning, back in 92-93. Yet another record attained by a young Victor, and the game, the win. We got everything. We got a successful outing from Wemby, and still a few turnovers too many, but Devin Vassell stepped into the void and given 31 and 6, had 6 30-point games this season for Devin. He didn't have any 30-point games in the first 3 years. Spurs finished with 40 assists as a team. The record continues. What are we at now?
In terms of the record of assists?
In a row, 20 in a row or better. 40 man. Is the most assists in a game since 2013.
So, give me 1 second here. This takes when the record is this large, the
the math it gets we're into triple digits. The naught plus naught goes to the next line.
Give me some some tabulation noise.
Well, I don't even know what that would be. Amplify the ping machine.
There we go. That's we're working.
All right, they got 40 assists. That's the most since 2013. You get 40
Could have
assists
done it twice.
That
It should count for 2 games.
It should. That when you put that along with
131.
That's 131 consecutive games, which at the end of the day is that's pretty.
The Pacers
stupid
are
impressive.
right there though at 128. So back off.
There were, unfortunately, they did have 21 turnovers. Normally, that's not a prescription to win. When you balance that off of 40 assists, I do think you're there. Flowers first, Devin Vassell. Those kind of games, that was spectacular from Devin. He did everything appropriate to the night that he had to have. They were sharing the ball. He shared the ball. Post game, as the Spurs, I'm not sure. We talked about it yesterday, and I'm not sure even the Spurs thought they had a fighting chance last night. And I don't know what to make of Utah's performance. I know they're hanging right there on the edge, and they should be better than they are. But, when you get those kind of surprise wins, especially the way Devin played, he kind of asserted himself as a bit of a leader, the kind of leader we want to see. And he talked about being a leader last night.
Just trying to be a leader out there on both ends of the floor. I talked about it earlier in the season where I just want to be kind of that defensive anchor. We have Vic. Jeremy's been playing great on the defensive end. TJ's picking up full court, Blake. And, I want to be that next guy. I want to be somebody who's picking up and just being disruptive. So defensive end, I've just really been trying to anchor that. And then offensively, Coach has been, I say all the time, Coach puts me in a great position to get downhill, get to my spots, pick them apart. If they're trapping me, I can hit the short roll or the skip or whoever it is. And they've been knocking down shots. Kai came in and knocked down some big shots. So it was all in great night for a bunch of people. It was a great team effort, great team win.
That's what you like to hear. Devin Vassell with 31 last night. And he certainly keyed the victory. But Victor, of course, there was a solid all-around performance. But more than anything else that I took away from last night, apart from the turnovers, we're going to get to it, he had a lot more energy last night. Just had a little bit more bounce in his step. It wasn't a great game, but that just shows that Victor can roll out of bed and pull 5 blocks. I mean, just wake up and kind of tighten his shoes up a little bit, and he's ready to go there. But it does appear, even though we had a little bit more of an invigorated performance, that time is winding down.
Yeah, and good for him rolling out of bed. But if you're rolling out of bed and having if you have more turnovers than blocks and your name is Victor Wembanyama, something horrible is happening because you have a lot of blocks. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that this last run of the season has helped. We had a real just spring break kind of view of Wemby for a while. Like, dude walks on water, can do no wrong. The Wemby throw the foam chancla in the middle of the court, right? Like anytime he achieves the stat, the 5x5. And all that, I don't want to say masked the turnovers, but all that was fun. And it was the sugar rush of it all. And now we're waking up and we're like, oh, dude, I had nothing but candy yesterday. You know what I mean? Like, I feel a little sick. And not that we feel sick, but these turnovers, I mean, as much as I want to be excited about all the positives, that's something that I feel like, and it's going to piss me off and piss you off when he has none in the Olympics, right? Like, he's going to be the most protective. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's going to be super protective with the ball. And that's the big thing to work on moving forward next season for him to work on. Obviously, the front office has a lot they have to do in general.
But the idea of the French team, when he doesn't pass the ball, he takes every shot available to him and has no turnovers and go, that's what we're waiting on. And we're waiting on that on nights. But I'll tell you, last night, when you do have a Wemby who's turning the ball over, 6 turnovers again, and 3 of them the first half were just about unforgivable. I mean, just yank and sit and watch kind of turnovers. Devin talked about, Wemby talked about, it's nice to have Vassell's leadership and presence on, average nights for others.
More and more, he's becoming a real problem for defenses. So it's beautiful to see him evolve like this throughout the year. And, I don't know how many 30-point games he's had, but lately
it'd be 3.
He's had a lot. And, it's, we have to know our strengths and what we want to develop, and he's a big part of it. So all of us trust him.
They all trust it.
They should. He's earned it, right? Like we've all had words to offer about Devin as the season has gone along, and I'm happy that Wemby, not that he hasn't before, but I'm happy that he's offering some words of praise because right now, Devin is the most consistent player on the team. Wemby's the best player on the team, but Devin consistently brings the highest floor night in and night out. Wemby, without question, has the highest ceiling, but his floor is so low because he's turning the ball over left and right. You simply cannot rely on him. 23 turnovers in 4 games.
Right.
23.
Not a lot of players can survive that, but he is the future. And we talked about it yesterday that some of the turnovers they're all his fault one way or the other, but some are less his fault than others. The dumb ones, the dribble off your foot, the catch the ball out of bounds, the unrequired fanciness when you're trying to pocket pass when something else will do, when you're passing up shots that are obviously yours for somebody to get, and sometimes better to best isn't best. You're the best. Those are the things that are it's time for those to go away. Now, I think we can all forgive a few just because of, just being aggressive, but those have got to stop. And I think that he is starting to sense it. In the second quarter, if you recall, after one of the more particularly stupid turnovers, Pop kind of jumped him, and he was grabbing his head. He put his hands on his forehead like, man, I got to stop this. So you can tell it's been a point of reference. I think we're getting close to a drop the mic kind of a time for Wemby. Listen to what Pop says. Let's listen to Pop post game. Listen to what he says for the keys to the win over the Jazz last night.
We shot really well in the first half. You knew that was going to change a little bit. We turned it over, so we didn't shoot as well in the second half, but we didn't turn it over like we did in the first half. And Malachi came in and got 3 or 4 buckets for us when we needed to score. We're having a tough time, so he deserves a lot of credit for keeping us going offensively. And overall, the defense, again, was good. Physical, followed with a good pace offensively, and it was a good night.
It was a good night all the way around. Defensive pace picked up, and I think that was key. Now, what they didn't do, what Utah did not do, what we are going to see a little bit more, and I'm surprised we didn't see last night, was teams just attacking Victor. Their primary offensive weapon last night for Utah was Markkanen. He was the backdoor guy. He was the one that hit a couple of shots, and he was the focus. They didn't really attack Wemby all night long. Now, some of that was he was watching, but as we get closer and closer, what do we got? 9 games left. We got a home game tomorrow night against New York, and they're not going to really have a bunch to attack him with. But we're getting to that awards time where last impressions count. And I think that if there's truly that effort to get him Rookie of the Year, the next time, or Defensive Player of the Year, the next time he has a huge game might be the last time we see him. If he has one of those 7, 8, 9 triple-double quad nearlies, the Wemby, the 5x5s, we might be just about done.
I think if he does it against Denver, you know what I mean? Like, especially that gives you like a nice kind of walk off. It's like, okay, going inside, you know what I mean? Had an awesome, make, got to go in now while I'm hot. I was curious about something because I was, on the subject, just to go back quickly to the turnovers. This is kind of funny. The last person in the NBA to have at least 23 turnovers in a 4-game span was Sabonis. Okay. I don't think that's like particularly shocking, right? Like,
it is shocking to me. When was this? And who was he on? Was he with Sacramento or was he with Oklahoma City at the time?
This was just this year. This was in January. The span began on New Year's Eve and went all the way to the 7th of the year. So this is very, very recently. So he's the most recent person to do it. He actually went longer. He had 26 turnovers, which is worse. So it could always be worse. But so that's the most recent player besides Wemby, because now Wemby's done. He's had 23 turnovers in 4 games, counting last night. So Sabonis is the most recent to do it outside of Wemby. The second most recent to do it outside of Wemby, Trae Young. That's what caught me. That was really funny.
Yikes.
To look at relative to what we're kind of crossing our fingers and hoping for next year. And we're over here screaming about it. He had 23 turnovers exactly in a 4-game stretch.
40 assists is a milestone. We just said they haven't done it. The Spurs haven't done that since 2013.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, in the height of the good to better, better to best era. You don't throw the ball that often without turning the ball over a few times. I mean, that's part of the cost of doing business. If you're passing that much, you are going to turn the ball over now and again, just because the ratios, the percentages, it happens. But Victor talked about the value of having a team that's capable of throwing 40 assists.
It's the whole thing at the end of the day. But hitting shots is, it's easier when we're 3, 4, or 5 passes into the offense, and we've done a pick and roll and attracted defenders in the paint. So it's there's a lot that goes on before actually making the shot.
I just want to put something in your mind. What does the ideal possession for the Spurs look like?
I mean, I don't know exactly what kind of answer you're looking for.
But I'm just curious. In your mind, when you go, the Spurs are clicking when I see this.
I think some mild ball movement. I don't need an you know what I mean? I don't need the beautiful game in an overwhelming sense.
Mm-hmm.
Some mild ball movement, and then ultimately the ball ends in Wemby's hands.
Right. Okay. So I think we're all on the same. And I like the way that you put that.
Yeah.
No, I like the way that you put mild ball movement, because
I mean, I don't need to see 3-4 passes. You know what I'm saying? Like the path of least resistance is incredibly obvious. Like, get it to the really tall dude in the middle of the paint and get him as close to the basket as possible. And he's got to, do the dirty work down low. I mean, and occasionally, there are, just these fast break moments or whatever, and he's outside and you can kick it to him and you can dish it to, Jeremy's feeling hot at the end of a game against Phoenix, so be it. But I mean, on average, that needs to happen way more often than anything else.
Let me tell you, as a guy, what was it? Daryl Royal that said 3 things can happen when you pass, and 2 of them are bad. Is that the one? Was it him that said it? About that's certainly not true in basketball. And the good to better, better to best idea, the beautiful game, certainly is the purest form into many's eyes. But I'm all about bypassing the middleman. How about good to best? Let's just eliminate the middleman and get from good to best. And the real key to good teams becoming great teams is figuring out what best is. And sometimes you got to get to better to go to best, or sometimes you can just go to good to best. Well, I think, last night best was Devin. And they figured it out. The best was Devin, but either by Trey Jones or by Wemby, and both were responsible for feeding and getting assists from made Devin Vassell shots. They went from good to best. And they eliminated the better. There were still a lot of turnovers, and some of the betters were the reason of that, the 21 turnovers. But the best way to win is go from good to best. And I think we get lost in, I don't need to see 3 to 5 passes on every possession. I don't need that. I got Wemby and Devin or somebody hot. I would just as soon that guy get the ball first.
I think that in a perfect world that exists.
Right.
But with this team and this talent, you can't do that.
But we're getting there. And what I'm getting at is the key for a great team is an understanding is what is best on that night. Most nights it's going to be Victor. Most nights the best guy to take most of the shots will be Victor. Last night it wasn't. And the Spurs realized it. Wemby gave the ball. Trey gave the ball. And Devin got the ball.
They would have been more inclined to realize it if they hadn't just won a game without Wemby?
Oh, I think it mattered. I think Wemby saw it. I think Wemby sat and watched a team that went and won without him, and was in part of going from, I'm not the best option tonight. Devin took more shots. Devin was best. They won the game.
And that's where I think I'll even go as far as saying matured over the season. Because for a while, I think you have the brand new car and you're like, we've got to drive it. We've got, you know what I mean? Like, we have to use this. There's no reason anybody should be taking more shots, blah, 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 blah. And I don't mean to say that the Spurs were right early on in the season, because I maintained that the way they went about this was a little bit wonkier than it had to be. But there is truth to the matter and the idea and the reality that some nights are not going to be Victor's night.
Right.
Some nights are going to be Devin's night. Some nights are going to be, I don't know, Malachi had a great night. You know what I mean? Like some nights are just going to belong to other dudes. And you have to be ready and willing to kind of funnel things through them. And good for the Spurs for, recognizing that. But it should still be, the significant minority of events that happen throughout the course of a regular season. This shouldn't have been the case early on. I mean, it should have been a baptism by fire for him. He should have been completely and totally involved to the nth degree from the very, very, very beginning.
I will also say that Jeremy probably was the second most important player on the court last night, more so than even Victor. Jeremy made a difference in a lot of different places at a lot of different times. Big rebounds, proper passing. His game is such that the less you talk about him and the more minutes he plays, the better the team looks.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? There's something about the cohesiveness that when he's flowing, and last night he had 35 minutes, second only to Devin. And there was a reason behind that. I mean, he mattered when it mattered in ways that you don't notice. The rebound, the hockey assist, the glue, the cohesiveness that he brings to the court. Some nights it can't. He's the reason why Devin was able to go get it, not because Victor was, whatever the case may be. He has shined over the last couple of nights in ways that he was drafted to shine. And you just brought it up. While it appeared a little wonky early on, that some of the things that he learned as point guard, as the guy looking at the offense instead of being in the offense, you know what I mean? I think has proven more valuable as the season went on. Last night, 7 of 16. They're giving him threes and he's taking them. I mean, everybody's gonna stand and watch Jeremy take threes, despite the fact of a game winner just a night ago. He had 7 opportunities. I mean, he remained a threat, made 2 of them. 5 steals last night.
He worked. I mean, I think for a long time, it felt like the only viable part of this whole thing in the future was Devin. Jeremy's earned a spot. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Jeremy
he truly has
carved a role. Yeah.
And he'll be
maybe
cheap.
I think some people were willing to give it to him, but before this little run, but giving it to him before this, in my mind, was extending a benefit of the doubt. Now, maybe you were willing to do that, but it wasn't completely based on performance. It was based on pedigree. And the performance finally matches that. And good for him. I mean, a lot of people would have, I think, tucked and run and just been like, whatever, this is the Wemby show, I'm out of here. But he didn't.
Well, Pop loves guys like that. His previous iteration was Slow-Mo, and Slow-Mo was here for a long time and did a lot of good things. Just fill the gaps, do the things that are required, and don't make mistakes. You don't got to be great. Just don't be bad. And that's what Jeremy has been.
That's a lot harder than it sounds.
Oh, man, it's the most impossible thing to achieve, especially on that level, because being bad on that level still means being great everywhere else in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Bringing it home to the Knicks with the Knicks tomorrow night. The Knicks have been hot, and they're a tough roadie team. It's going to be one of those put on your big boy shoes and go play some hard-nosed basketball. As the season's winding down and your opportunities to see the Spurs are just about done, make sure you're getting your tickets and go and saying a team that's just about done, and maybe we'll put those brown uniforms to bed sooner than later.
Jalen Brunson in San Antonio in March. Watch out.
Pretty thing to see. It'll be Friday night. Hey, coming up, you had an opportunity, RJ, to sit down with a guy who's calling a lot of these games, one of the very best in the business. He's like, Ian Eagle is like the best referee in the NFL. You know he did the game because you didn't bring him up at all. It just was smooth as silk. One of the best in the business. Ian Eagle sitting down with RJ Ochoa next. It's great as we head towards Sweet 16. Hang on tight. He's coming around the bend. You're on 94.1, and this is San Antonio Sports Star. I hope you woke up this morning and washed yourself clean underneath a Connecticut water softened shower, because if you did, you're one of the cool kids, one of the smart ones down here in San Antonio and South Texas, because you were smart enough to know you went and got a water softener that was designed and made in the United States with San Antonio and South Texas in mind. You know, the water coming out of our aquifer, out of your well, it makes probably some pretty good sweet tea, and I know it makes some good light beer, but I'll tell you, there's a lot of stuff that it leaves in your pipes, puts in your mouth and on your hair and then on your skin and everywhere else where the water touches that you don't want. Connecticut takes care of that in ways that I never even considered. You know, kinetic energy matters. The water softener you get from Connecticut, you don't even plug those things in. They just work on the energy provided by the water flow. And I don't get it. It's science. I just know it works. My neighbors had it. I've got it. You want it? Call 656-PURE, 656-PURE. You'll reach out to a Connecticut representative that will be more than happy to come out to your home and put a Connecticut water softener in your house so you can find out what I know, that you've got the best in the business, and when you buy one, you've got the best warranty going, apples to apples. Find out. Call today, 656-PURE. For 90 days, you'll have a Connecticut in your home, and you'll find out what so many of us know, that it's a water softener that you need. Heck, Dave Ramsey has it. He brags on it, so should I, right? Call 656-PURE. Go to ConnecticutSA.com for all the details. Sing it while you type it, ConnecticutSA.com. Call them today. Get a Connecticut in your home, and I know you're going to be thanking me later.
San Antonio Sports Star.
Gomez Law Firm has been taking care of the people of San Antonio for almost 50 years, the leader in personal injury law. Jose, tell us a little bit more about what you do.
We do ride-sharing cases, 18-wheeler cases. Obviously, we've done those for very many years. Work injuries. We will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then you need to visit joegomezlaw.com.
We've been around for almost 50 years, and we're not going anywhere.
Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Your gas light's on. We need to fill up.
Gas around here is too expensive.
Don't drive all over searching for the lowest prices. Just download the free Upside app and get cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying gas? I'm stopping now to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Cash out anytime to your bank account, PayPal, or e-gift card. Download the free Upside app now and use promo code GIFT for an extra 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill up. That's promo code GIFT.
Ulta Beauty's semi-annual beauty event is happening now. Unleash your love for beauty with 50% off daily beauty steals on hair, skin, makeup, and fragrance. Shop your favorite brands like Tarte and Fenty Beauty by Rihanna. Plus, grab perfect hair care pairs from brands like Redken and Olaplex. And check out new arrivals from brands like Charlotte Tilbury and Dyson. Shop the Ulta Beauty semi-annual beauty event online, in-store, or try pickup today. Now through March 28th. Ulta Beauty. The possibilities are beautiful. Conditions apply.
When Cynthia came to TurboTax, she just launched her new side gig, a true crime podcast.
I'm a first-rate detective with a golden voice.
As her TurboTax expert, I made her second income count by guaranteeing 100% accurate filing and her maximum refund.
What did she do with that refund? Find out next week.
Switch to Intuit TurboTax and make your moves count. See guarantee details at TurboTax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
Public health is more than just healthcare. While a doctor treats individuals, public health looks at the health of a community. At Metro Health, we research the risk of illness and take action to stop the spread of infectious diseases. We introduce prevention and early detection activities that help individuals enjoy healthier lives. We protect against environmental health hazards. Metro Health collaborates with community partners to improve health outcomes because we are all public health. Celebrate National Public Health Week with us. Learn more at sa.gov/health.
San Antonio, get ready for CarFest, April 5th through the 7th at the Freeman Expo Hall. Enjoy a car show, driver workshops, entertainment, plus the chance to win a free car. And the best part, admission is free. Learn more at carfestsa.org.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
San Antonio Sports Star. Wake up with the Morning Huddle.
Back here on the Morning Huddle, I'm on JoJo, and I am joined by voice of the madness. He has percolated the audio stylings of your home and of your brain on many a different occasion. He is one of my very, very favorite people, and he now knows that because I'm talking to him face to face. It is Ian Eagle. Ian, thank you so much for joining us here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Yeah, great to be with you, RJ. This would have probably gone in a different direction if you lead with, he is one of my least favorite people, but let's bring him on anyway. Ian Eagle, how are you, bud?
I'm doing well. I always think about this when I talk to people in your position, people who craft and weave memories for people. Do you ever think of it that way? Because, I think of moments growing up. I think of different sports, different sporting events. I cover the Dallas Cowboys, so Joe Buck kind of really lives in my head rent-free based on all the games on Fox. You do that for people. Like you imprint on people's lives forever.
I do think of that. And I think as a sports fan, RJ, we continuously catalog information, memories, in this case, calls that stick with you, the word usage, the verbiage, the turning of a phrase. All of that can enhance the actual event that you're watching. And my hope is always to complement the action, not get in the way of the action. So it's this very fine line. Broadcaster is not more important than the event. You've got to meld the two. You've got to weave yourself in without becoming the story. But if your word selection is good, if your tone, if your inflection, if there's a period at the end, if there's an exclamation point at the end, that all plays a role in the fans' overall memory of the actual event. So 100% on my mind. You can't go into the event with just that in your mind, but it has to be among the keys in your head when you're going through the checklist of what's required in this moment.
That's really well said. So I told you that I'd ask people that all the time. Something I've never asked a broadcaster because I've been saving it for Ian Eagle, obviously. It's my opinion that everyone is an at-home broadcaster on a certain take. People love to say, "Oh, they should have let the moment breathe." That is the most commonly said thing. Do you think that is an over criticism, if that makes sense? That there was actually a moment that didn't need to breathe. That the announcer speaking was totally fine to speak in the middle of.
Yeah, I think it's very much a read the room situation. We all face that in social situations. You enter a room and you've got to get a sense right away. What's the dynamic? Should I be talking? Should I be engaging? Should I sit back? And it's the same mental checklist that you go through when you're calling a sporting event. It's a feel thing. There's no doubt about it. I don't have a steadfast rule. I do this in this situation. Every situation is going to be different. How engaged is the crowd? Are they loud? How good are the pictures? If you've got great pictures, sometimes you don't have to say anything as a television announcer. If the pictures aren't great, you might have to jump in and provide further context. If the sound quality is incredible, you're doing a game and the cacophony of sound is bouncing off the roof at Jerry World, and it doesn't require you to jump in and provide the voice track, that might be a decision that you make to lay out, which is in broadcast terms, say nothing. So I think it's a case-by-case basis. I've done both. Certainly I've done games where I've had to talk a bit more and done some games where I had a quick hitter at the end and then just let the picture and the sound do their part.
That's really well said. The great Ian Eagle with us here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Ian, this is the question that everybody's been wondering. Have you since learned more about a portable washing machine? Like, have you learned about the process? Do you have one yet? Do you have a sponsorship deal with one? I have to imagine some balls are in the air on this process.
Yeah, what you're alluding to, Tracy Wolfson did a report on Dan Hurley, who travels with a portable washing machine because he has a bunch of superstitions and he has to wear the same exact thing, underwear, shirt, pants, socks, every game as long as they're winning. So how do you combat that? You got to avoid the stink factor.
Of course.
And he's got his wife in there helping out Team Hurley and Team UConn. I'm sure the assistant coaches and the players also don't want the odor on the sideline. I am going to have to cry naivete on this one. I did not know that was a thing. My wife later told me that, no, go on TikTok and you can see a bunch of portable washers. I haven't done it yet. I'm pretty much, locked in on the NCAA tournament right now, but I'm going to have to check that out and maybe buy myself one. I didn't even know that was an option in my life. Maybe my life will be better with a portable washer.
Yeah, I would have thought Dan Hurley would have done like, I'm a big Amazing Race fan, Team CBS, here I am. And like they wash clothes like in their sink and stuff like that. Like you would figure that would, if Tracy's report had been that, I would have been like, oh, that totally makes sense. Like you're just washing one outfit. You know what I'm saying? At least.
RJ, shout it out like that. That's okay. Exactly. Well, whatever you got to do to get through that day. We've all been there at some point in our lives, on the road, at a hotel, realize that you didn't pack the extra set of whatever that might be. Hey, dude, I gotta find the next option. That's my best option.
You mentioned your wife telling you that there are TikToks available, kind of how-tos on this. There's also TikToks on Sheba and the gravy race. I need to know about this and exactly what's happening in your life and in their life.
Yeah, so you just mentioned it, the Sheba gravy race. You're talking about top-level cat competition. This is the ultimate. If you didn't even know that cat races existed, this is your chance to experience them. I've now experienced it as a play-by-play announcer, and I bring the same gusto and passion and preparation to this event that I would for any event that I'm working. That's part of the job as a play-by-play announcer. This is obviously a lot of fun, and with Sheba Gravy Indulgence, it's a new flavor, so these cats were head over heels. It was cat-tastic. Let's face it. They are going to wow you. These are some of the most popular cats in the world. RJ, I don't know if this is part of your day-to-day existence, but you could go on social media and find that some of these cats have thousands upon thousands, and then in some cases, millions of followers. There is a culture out there that is very passionate about felines. So if you're interested in My Boy Belarus or Paquito or Totally Tater, they're all out there for you to see.
That's really how the internet first began. Just a bunch of cat videos on YouTube.
Great point.
I mean, Sheba.com, that's SHEBA.com/gravy-race. More information, obviously. I'm a dog person, so no prejudice here, but it's just kind of where we're at. Once again, Ian Eagle with us here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Obviously, we're now maybe not knee deep into the tournament, but kind of ankle deep, calf deep, I suppose. Your thoughts so far, because a lot of people feel like it's gone rather chalk, and that's not a criticism, obviously, because I think we like that. We like the competitive teams. We like all 1 seeds and 2 seeds moving on and setting up what should be an incredible weekend this week, obviously with all sorts of college basketball action.
Yeah, having done this event for 26 years, I've seen every iteration. I've seen where the dominant programs take care of business, advance on to their regionals, and then those continue on to the Final Four. I've seen the shockers. I've been a part of it with St. Peter's 2 years ago. They emerged, then went to Philly, beat Purdue in the Sweet 16, and got dominated by North Carolina en route to the Tar Heels going to the national title game against Kansas. There's no right or wrong answer here. My sense of it, for those that are tournament purists, they like the upsets in the first round. So the smaller schools, the 14 seeds that pull off this incredible storyline and advance to the second round, they don't like it as much when those schools continue, because there's the possibility of non-competitive basketball when you get to the regionals and the Final Four. Look, I see it from all perspectives. If you're someone that attended a certain school that is not in the zeitgeist every year and being talked about, you go on one of these incredible runs, it's unforgettable. The George Masons, the Loyola Chicagos, even last year, Florida Atlantic and San Diego State to some degree. It means something. It means something to the university. It means something to the players. It means something to the alums, the families, all of it. That's what the tournament is all about. But certainly for the showcase of college basketball, you want quality games when it's the biggest stage. And the way things are setting up right now, I think we have a very good chance of getting that come Phoenix.
You mentioned Loyola Chicago. Obviously, they made the Final Four last time it was here in San Antonio in 2018, and we'll see you next year, obviously. And to that point, I wouldn't say that there was a lack of welcome, but I mean, especially with regards to the other three teams, it was you get Villanova, you get Michigan, you get Kansas, and then it just kind of felt like this. But then you had the wonderful Sister Jean story and things like that, and that's what this tournament ultimately yields is these stories, and I don't want to call them characters, but just these things that we can connect to as we're separating further and further away from football season into things that can capture our attention. We had that a little bit with Oakland last week. Who do you see as because you've been asked a million times, Ian, who should I pick in my bracket, whatever, but like what school do you see as offering the most potential for that juicy story we're looking for as we move towards next weekend and obviously national championship night?
Yeah, I definitely think Duke had planted itself now into the consciousness, and that's hard to even say because normally they are. I think they were being dismissed before this tournament began. The loss to North Carolina followed up by the loss to NC State in the ACC tournament. And most people were already past Duke. It's not their year. I don't like the mix of this team. It's not set up for the tournament. And now here they are in the Sweet 16 taking on a number 1 seed, Houston, in Dallas. And if they win again, you're going to get to know these guys a little bit better. Jared McCain went off. 30 points, couldn't miss. This young man already has 2.4 million TikTok followers, so people are aware of him. And it's funny, like the niche part of it, his TikToks are based solely on lip syncing songs, but doing something while he lip syncs. So I just went on, this is research, RJ.
Obviously.
I have to be prepared. I went on and I didn't know what to expect. I just knew he had a bunch of followers, and that's what it is. It's him lip syncing with a huge smile on his face, dancing, putting himself in different situations. Very creative and very well done. But that just shows you where we are in society, that someone like that already has an immense following before he even made a basket in the 2024 NCAA tournament. We're definitely in a different world when it comes to that. Yet the Oakland story and Gelke, that still is something you can book every March. A name, a person that you knew literally nothing about as a college basketball fan, which I assume you are, and I am. Yet here you are in week 1 of the tournament saying, this guy's amazing. Where did he come from? He's a transfer from Division II. He gets his one shot at Oakland, and he sets an NCAA tournament record for threes in the first 2 games of a player's career. That's what dreams are made of.
It's that's really what March Madness is our dreams unfolding game after game after game after game. I never thought that I would talk to Ian Eagle so much about TikTok, but you just never know where life will take you. I hope you are able to just at least learn more about the portable washing machine, just maybe experiment so that, like you said, research. You're in a position to where next time you can speak from a position of authority. Tracy doesn't catch you by surprise or whatever the case may be.
You're so right. You're so right. I've got to broaden my horizons. I see myself as a Renaissance man, but that one surprised me, I must admit.
That much is incredibly obvious. Sheba, the gravy race. Thank you so much, Ian. I mentioned the Final Four in San Antonio next year, so we'll see you then. I mentioned I covered the Cowboys. Just very quickly, will they win the Super Bowl between now and next year's Final Four?
You left the hard-hitting question as the last question, RJ. I'll take a pass, but thank you.
You know what? I think they will too. The great Ian Eagle, thank you so much for joining us here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Ian Eagle, RJ Ochoa, 2 names, same conversation. Great. If you missed any of that, you can go to sasportstar.com. Catch up on all things Blitz and Morning Huddle, everything we do live. Hey, coming back, we're looking around the NFL. Jadeveon Clowney heading home and other signings as we look toward a slower free agency period. But first, I want to tell you a little bit about BetUS. It's March Mania. It's time. I'm here to tell you about BetUS.com. I've only endorsed one sportsbook while I've been over here on the San Antonio Sports Star, and it's been BetUS.com. And they've been driving to the hoop for 30 years with the bonuses and offers they've had, and they have outdone themselves this year. BetUS has an epic 3-pointer, the likes of which we've never seen before. How about 3 consecutive 125% bonuses on your deposits? That's right. The industry's craziest 125% sign-up bonus times 3. It's your first 3 deposits. You also have 10% gambler's insurance. It's mania. It's sweet. Don't let it get too sad. Gambler's insurance is what you need. And if you bring in crypto, you can get up to a 250% bonus when you transfer in the casino. Yeah, BetUS.com's got action you need. Whether you're playing the points, playing the lines, or playing the cards or the dice, you can do it right there at BetUS.com. Call them right now or go to BetUS.com. Give them a call at 1-800-MY-BET-US. You talk, they type, or you type, but get yourself signed up right now. 125% sign-up bonus. What are you waiting on? Go there today. I know you're going to be thanking me sooner than later.
Nothing beats March Madness. The pure sound of a swish, the rattle of a slam dunk, the fans on their feet for the big moments. And the action just keeps getting better until a national champion is crowned. Hear all the action with Westwood One's exclusive coverage of the NCAA men's and women's tournaments right here
on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star and San Antonio's ESPN 1250.
Now during Staples Print Big Sale, get $20 off your print purchase of $100 or more, $50 off your print purchase of $200 or more, and $100 off your print purchase of $300 or more. So the more you print at Staples, the more you save. To demonstrate, print at Staples, you save. But if you print at Staples, you save. See how that works? Staples Print Big Sale. Print more, save more. Up to $100. Ends 4/6. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Progressive presents good news, bad news, dumb news, then great news. Good news. Your coworker Kyle said bundling home and auto insurance with Progressive could save you money. Bad news. While saying this, Kyle was eating your clearly labeled lunch. Dumb news. Pizza near work costs $7 a slice, and it tastes like drywall covered in ketchup. Great news. You decide to see if you could save money bundling at Progressive.com and enjoy more lunches far away from Kyle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for more than 50 years. Went to grade school, high school, and graduated from law school right here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after serious injury and fatality collision since 1994. My website is alawyerforus.com. Why a lawyer for us? Well, after several years of practice, I watched as insurance companies created their own law firms solely to defend against auto claims. Today, there are very few insurance companies that do not have their own captive law firm filled with attorneys whose job is to minimize what the insurance company has to pay on an auto claim. If you are a family member is injured in a traffic collision, you will need your own attorney. Just remember alawyerforus.com. For many lawyers you see on billboards, your case will be handled by a non-lawyer or a staff lawyer. If you call me, Jason Thompson, I will be the lawyer you speak with. The initial consultation is always free. If you are a family member and needs an experienced attorney you can trust, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 900-0400. That's 210-900-0400 or alawyerforus.com.
Hey, boss. What's got you so down today?
We just lost another customer to Diamonds Direct. Guy's been with us for years. Went over there and, well, now he's in love with those people. I don't know what they do.
Want me to go secret shop Diamonds Direct again, sir?
Remind me what we learned the last time you did that.
Well, they're really good, sir. They got like 10 times the selection we have. They have those top designers that we're not allowed to carry. They're telling people the inside secrets on how to buy diamonds. They give free service on stuff like cleaning and sizing, the things you charge extra for. And they're nice people. Everybody's smiling over there.
Okay, stop. I know. It's impossible to compete with Diamonds Direct. I mean, even my accountant just upgraded his wife's engagement ring there and got her a 3-carat.
Wait a minute. I thought your brother was your accountant.
He is.
Are you getting all you deserve from your jeweler? You might be surprised. Maybe it's time to get the value, the selection, the quality, the education, and the service you deserve at Diamonds Direct. Get details, showroom hours, directions, and more at diamondsdirect.com.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Get to Twin Peaks for their beer-battered fish and chips. This beer-battered cod is served with house-made tartar, malt vinegar, and french fries, and score them along with a 22-ounce Miller Lite or Coors Light for just $12. That's every Friday through Easter. Twin Peaks!
Hard work and dreams lead to success, but easily filing your taxes with TurboTax and Credit Karma doesn't hurt either. Make filing taxes a walk in the park, because we'll pre-fill your info for you so you can file quickly and confidently. Winner! Get the peace of mind that comes with expert help. Let's go! Being powered by TurboTax means you're backed by the leading tax preparer, and we'll show you all your filing options up front so there are no surprises. File your taxes on Intuit Credit Karma today. Expert help not available with all products. Guarantee details available at turbotax.com/guarantees.
Good morning, everybody. Joe Reinagle here. Coming up on The Blitz, we are live from Las Vegas, circa Las Vegas, the biggest sports book in Las Vegas. And there's a lot to watch. Sweet 16 action in college basketball. Opening day of Major League Baseball. Greg Maddux is actually here to throw out the first pitch. Going to be a lot of fun. Plus, the General's going to join us, John McClain, to talk some NFL football. Hey, Rob. Hey, RJ. Viva Las Vegas.
Hey, keep it to yourself. Hey, there's still time if you want to meet them. Go to sasportstar.com. There's a link there to the Circa. That's where they are today. They got there last night. Check the Instas. So they're bragging a bit. They were in the limo. Yeah. We're here. He's RJ. I'm Rob on a busy Thursday, the best sporting day of the year. Opening day, Sweet 16, but the NFL takes some news. Looking around the league, I saw an interesting story. I believe it was on Yardbarker. I forget, or maybe it was in SI. The Kansas City Chiefs signed a superstar rugby player. Did you see this?
Yeah, I did.
And I watched some highlights of this cat. He's got some McCaffrey-esque moves.
You've been watching film?
I watched some film. You know, that's how I prep for things like this. No, whenever you see something like that, it always reminds me of, the Dallas Cowboys under Tex Schramm during all those years. And they always would draft, the last pick. You never do. They drafted Carl Lewis and Bob Hayes, amongst others that, you never know. Skill sets might transfer. Has this ever really completely worked? I know there was a lacrosse player that played for the Patriots that had a modicum of success.
There are a million lacrosse players that have played for the Patriots.
See, I was going to say, they don't really, but I don't really count that because they probably played a little bit of football at some point in their lives. But
Sure.
Euro transfer playing soccer kicker, we've seen that many times. But there's been some Aussie punters, the little sideways run and try to trick you punter.
Track stars, Bob Hayes comes to mind. We've talked about North Dallas 40. The author, Peter Gent, was a tight end in college. I'm sorry, a basketball player in college. I believe at Michigan State, if memory serves me correct.
I'm kind of embarrassed I don't know this, but go on.
Oh my gosh, it was Michigan State from Bangor, Michigan. Look at me go. He was a center forward with the Michigan State basketball team.
And this applies as a basketball player that wrote a football?
Yeah, because, I think that was the Cowboys were early on in height advantage and things like that. We've seen other basketball players excel. Antonio Gates, Jimmy Graham. Did you know Antonio Gates played basketball in college? That was the thing like once upon a time.
Kent, if you're curious.
Right. So we've seen cross
What about
sport
rugby?
athletes.
Is there like another sport like almost like Aussie
There's
rules
been a
football? They're punters.
There's been a handful of attempts.
Yeah.
But nothing has really translated. And it's a different game. You know what I mean? Like, I understand that there's athleticism involved in both, and these are amazing athletes, but it is still at its core a different game. And so, I'm interested at the very least.
Go check the tape. He looks like a football player. He runs. There's a rugby run. I don't know what it is, but the way they have to kind of like tote that fat football, and then they kind of have to the way that they have to score and all that. It lends itself to a different style of running that makes them successful. This dude runs like a football player. He got the ball tucked and high. The knees are high, like he's stepping over. It looks like this guy might have a chance. Kansas City would be a perfect place for a cat like that too, because Andy Reid will find some way to utilize him. I've got two words, three letters, or 3 letters. I don't know. J.K. Dobbins.
Okay.
Would he look good in a Cowboys star?
I'm actually surprised we haven't seen him connected to the Cowboys yet, just because he's the classic, we're actually getting an amazing player. He's just been dealing with injuries for a while, blah, blah, blah. But, that would require, getting off the couch.
I want to talk about that because remember a couple days ago, last week, good friend of the show, a lovely reporter, smart reporter, quick, always got stuff. Jane Slater told us something was cooking on her feed, and yet nothing has come out of the oven. We're going to talk some Dallas Cowboys on the other side and try to figure out, is that something that they maybe should do? I mean, we all love us some dawdle. Who doesn't love a dawdle every now and again? Hey, coming up at the top of the hour, the Spurs win. But how? Well, it was easy. We'll look at how they did it and where they're going. Spurs talk, Cowboys talking. Oh, the Sweet 16. The 8 o'clocks will be chock full of goodness. Go Carbo Load. We'll be right back here on 94.1. It is San Antonio Sports Star.
This is the Morning Huddle with Robin RJ. Morning 6 to 10, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Easter means all kinds of things, all kinds of people. To small children, it means a basket, a chocolate rabbit, and a handful of jelly beans. It means looking for colored eggs in the high grass and among the trees. For others, it means a holiday and family gatherings for a meal on a Sunday afternoon. The funny thing about Easter is that it began with a man who had been dead for 3 days coming back to life. He didn't just hit death and then bounce back into this kind of life. He hit death, pushed through it to the other side to experience what the Bible calls resurrection. It means that death does not have the last and final word. The resurrection, in a sense, puts us on a mountain and allows us to see things that are breathtakingly true, but had not been seen until that moment. This is Mark Absher, the MacArthur Park Church of Christ, inviting you to join us on Easter, March 27th at 10:30 a.m. as we remember and celebrate the resurrection of Jesus. Our church is located east of the airport on Loop 410 at the Starcrest exit. You can visit us online at macarthurchurch.org. The MacArthur Park Church of Christ, connecting God and people.
The Golf Club of Texas has some of the best course conditions with the friendliest staff. The golf is great. They have lighted driving range and practice area. While it feels like a country club, it's not a private club. It's open to the public, so bring the family into the Tin Cup Bar, the nicest sit-down restaurant in that area of San Antonio, specializing in Texas food, wine, and spirits. For golf or dinner, go to the Golf Club of Texas off Highway 90, online at golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas, the friendliest golf course in Texas.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with everything I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of dry AMD called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, colors appear dull or washed out. For others, hazy or blurred vision make it hard to see details, like fine print on price tags. Many have trouble seeing in the dark, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to GAWon'tWait.com.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save.
Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Have pain? Have chronic pain? Low back pain, knee pain, neck pain, or shoulder pain, I can help. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health, and we get to the root of your pain. We don't just give pain medications, we do the proper investigation to see what is the root cause, and it's covered by your insurance. Reduce your medication, avoid surgery, and get rid of pain for good. Call for your free evaluation. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health, where we get to the root cause of your problem. 210-468-1891.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
George gets justice. If you've been injured, get George, because George gets justice. With over 100 years of combined experience and a relentless dedication to your case, the attorneys at George Salinas Injury Lawyers will fight for what's right. If you've been injured and it's not your fault, get George and get the compensation you deserve. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. Getgeorge.com.
San Antonio Sports Star. San Antonio's Sports Center.
The San Antonio Spurs hit the road, landed in the Delta Center, and got themselves a W. 118-111, led by Devin Vassell. The book was full. 5 Spurs with double figures. Wemby had 19 and 8. The Sweet 16 begin tonight. Arizona starts off with Clemson. And the opening day of baseball, Rangers start early. Houston late.
How good do you want to be? From Playwood to the last play, we fighting. Today's about opportunity and character. We got a chance to come out here and play football. It's a blessing. Hey, every season is full of defining moments. Let's make this day a defining moment for us in our quest. Let's go, baby.
This is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star with Rob Thompson and the managing editor of Blogging the Boys, RJ Ochoa. Now, here are the guys.
Hey, gather around. There's a bunch to talk about. It's the Morning Huddle here on San Antonio Sports Star. RJ Ochoa, Rob Thompson. Together we huddle up every day, led by the incomparable. That's the way to be introduced. I'd like to be introduced as the incomparable Edwin Hafner. We call him the Easy E. Welcome to the second half of the show, though the first half of you just got here. For those who have been with us, if you've enjoyed it half as much as we have, we've had twice as much fun as you. We're glad you're here, and we got 2 more hours to go. See RJ doing the math right there. Spurs win.
That's right.
Yeah. So I wake up excited. I love watching a win. That was a wire to wire. No, it wasn't wire to wire, was it? I was proven elsewise, but it was a solid 46.5-minute stretch of high successes. The Spurs basically won wire to wire, beating the Utah Jazz on the road, and weren't led by Wemby, led by Devin Vassell. 31 points. It was his 6th 30-point game of the season. He had never had one before this season. Now he's getting 6. You can tell the gravity of Wemby has helped other guys, despite the fact maybe they haven't helped him as much as we've seen. Last night, the Spurs had 40 assists, 21 turnovers, but 40 assists. It was the most since 2013. And, I would tell you this, RJ, if they'd had any other point guard, there might have been 45 in there. Oh, I kid. They played a solid basketball, a good game, considering the fact that Wemby was kind of hamstrung by time and turnovers. But still a Wemby-esque performance. You fall out of bed, get 5 blocks. He's now reached a plateau that hasn't been seen since 1992-93. With his 5 blocks last night, he joined a club that includes Shaq and Alonzo Mourning. It was his 21st game with 5 blocks in a season. Shaq back in 93, 92, 93 had 23. Alonzo Mourning has a 24. It was his 21st game. This is a record that could be broken imminently if they choose to do it. Now, really, the only thing left team-wise is try to pass and not be the worst team in franchise history. I think that's the goal if I'm coach, right?
I don't think there's any doubt that that's the goal, that's the only thing you can kind of achieve at this point in time, or avoid achieving, really, is maybe the best way to look at it. So they're sitting on, what is it now? They've got 17 wins.
17 wins.
So we need 3 to tie the worst record, 4 to not match it at all. There are
Well,
9
are we going to
games
count the
remaining.
89-90 season?
It's up to you.
We've had some difficult years. I think the goal should be 22 wins, and I don't think they're going to get it.
I mean, I don't think you can say that that's a fair goal right now. I mean, they have won consecutive games for what? The
second time since February.
No, but 5th time in general. And they have today. What's today's date from me, Rob? Can you tell me, please?
Today is March the 28th.
Today is March the 28th. What does today represent in sports? What are some big sports things that are happening? Just to kind of,
it's an opening day for those who care about such things. It's also the day for Sweet 16.
Okay, so
I think there might be a 10K someplace.
Now that we're understanding of where we're at in the calendar, where we're at in the sports calendar, what if I told you? I know you know this though, that the Spurs have not won 3 games in a row this season.
That's no shock.
I know, but I'm saying we're this deep into the year, and you're saying that the goal is 22 wins. Bro, they're still trying to win a 3rd game in a row for the first time. And in their way is one of the hottest teams in the East in the New York Knicks. There's just no way that's going to happen.
Oh, man. No, it's not. And so if that's not attainable and we have to just accept what is imminent, that they're not going to get 21. They're not even going to tie 20, the 97 year. Then what's it all for? Well, where are we headed and what are we doing? Because it appears to me at any moment, if anything were to occur, I feel like we're kind of in mop-up duty. Like we are late in the 4th quarter of a blowout. We got about 7 minutes to go, enough to kind of keep some guys in some vital minutes to feel like they're pros and do some pro things. But for the most part, this story's written. We're putting periods at the end of paragraphs, at the end of chapters. And what are we chasing here? If we're not going to get 21, if we're not going to get 20, and maybe that's the goal, and maybe they woke up yesterday, had their Wheaties, and say, all right, we got 4 to go. And maybe we'll find out against New York. And if we get that, and suddenly, then I'm thinking 2 of your last 6, maybe. But the moment in the game, we realize not going to happen. Whoop, ripcord. We get the hook like it's the Apollo Theater, and Wemby can dance off in his brown sweatsuit, and we'll see you in October.
If this were a game, all right, to kind of live in your analogy, the Spurs are 17-56. There are 9 games left. If this were a game, what would the score be? Because we're at the point where there's like 6 minutes left in the game.
I have a firm axiom at 10 points and 2 minutes is the pivot point. If you lose a game at 10 points at 2 minutes and you had a 10-point lead, it's your fault as the coach. And if you win the game, you did it as the coach. Now, at 6 minutes, no, it's not over yet. So with that in mind, I think we've got to go until we're mathematically eliminated. Okay. So I'm going to go 1:30 on the clock with an 8-point, 9-point lead. I'm going to say we got 3 more games.
3 more relevant games.
3 more relevant games. That, depending on their outcomes, might prolong or shorten the season.
I don't think that will prolong it at all because the 3 opponents in question are the Knicks, who we just talked about.
I like the Knicks. I like this game. I think there's a chance.
For the Spurs?
Yeah.
I mean,
Knicks are on the road. The Spurs are going to get a day. They're already home.
Okay.
I mean, they're going to get a good full rest. They're going to get a practice in today. I like the way things are trending.
Okay, so Knicks, Warriors, who admittedly are falling apart.
Yeah.
So maybe you deliver the kill shot to the Warriors dynasty.
I'll go 2 games. It's the Warrior game.
Okay, and then at Denver to start the last. Not last road trip.
The Denver game. Denver for the next week is going to play like their hair's on fire. What happened to them last night at home? That shouldn't happen this late in the season. I think they were kind of coasting and taking Phoenix for granted after what the Spurs did to them. So that's going to be a rough one.
These 3, I guess maybe through the New Orleans game, because that's the second game of the little road trip there. You got at Denver, at New Orleans.
I'm not even going to go that far. It's Golden State.
Well, I mean, because you're going to be on the road. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then I think you come home, and if if it's done, That's your yank. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay, so
getting home
Wemby
is your,
gets introed, plays some minutes, but really it's all but cash.
Right. So you got to win probably 3 of these last 4 to make the last actual 5 mean something.
No.
Or not mean something, but somewhat significant. But that ain't happening. There's no way. They might win one of these games.
I believe it was Bleacher Report. I want to make sure I give credit where it's due. Has the early odds and favorites to get those awards. Victor, of course, won Rookie of the Year last month. It's done. But as far as Depoy, which we all like a good helping of Depoy, he comes in first runner-up behind Gobert. And I do believe that's where it's going to land. But I say this now, like in a game like Denver, what other playoff teams do we have coming at us? Because the Detroit game at the end ain't gonna matter. No,
the Knicks.
Let's flip a coin. The Knicks.
So,
on a Friday night, Knicks during the tournament, no. But if Wemby can manage to have one last blowout, Wemby-esque 5x5 that has high 7, 8, 9 blocks, he still got a chance. It ain't over yet, but because I think that the league would like to give it to him, kind of as a pity prize. Like, we're sorry, man. We thought it'd go better, but but I think it's all but over. But I'm just saying I'll tell you, there's a chance because I've heard a couple of those national dudes with votes that are looking for a reason to justify it, and they just can't get past the record. But if he can do it against a team of merit, like Denver, if he can go out and do something to Jokic, shut him down, block a few shots, hit some threes, do an all-around thing, but keep the team close because of his defense, it could be a puncher's chance. One of those, I'm not going to tell you who I'm going to vote for before or definitely after, but somehow a rookie won.
It ain't happening, Rob.
Yeah,
I appreciate your positivity and your goalpost moving and your, you are Mr. Fantastic.
Do you know Ed Oliver? You know the name Ed Oliver, the defensive lineman for the Buffalo Bills?
Of course.
He came out of the University of Houston. Ed Oliver is a notoriously prickly dude. Not prickly, he's just a different kind of dude. He's run into some people. He's had some scuffles, some things. He's just not. He thinks differently than a lot. Well, his senior year, he was, he was a Heisman candidate on the defensive line, and his promotions committee sent me as the program director here a bobblehead of Ed O'Neill sitting on a horse in a feeble attempt.
Ed O'Neill
Ed Oliver. Ed Oliver. I'm sorry, Ed Oliver.
Okay, that would be really random to send you
from Modern Family and a variety of other shows, which didn't make any sense. No, they sent me that in like this desperate attempt. Maybe the Spurs should do something like that. Let's send all the voters a Wemby bobble, a slender.
Chancla.
Well, just something just to get you on the top of mind, because to this day, I think of Ed as a Heisman candidate. And I didn't even know he was till I got the bobblehead. So there's a chance you can do it off the court, but it's going to involve some huckster promotion kind of stuff. That are an extraordinary success on the court. But yeah, no, there's no chance.
There's zero chance.
So what are we doing this for then? I enjoyed last night. I really did. But for the end game, it didn't do us any good, because I'd just soon lose, just to make sure we're making sure, because, we are dealing with Toronto and they're not helping us out.
I mean, this is just going through the motions. That's all we're doing.
And
that's all this is.
And as I sit here and act this way, I've become what I detest. And I know it.
You're coping.
Well, it's the scar tissue of, it's over. Let's just, peacefully sit with the soon to be the Rainbow Bridge right there. Let's just wave goodbye. I don't need a long goodbye here.
That got really.
Well, I'm just saying.
Okay.
I mean, we're putting this is just not how I thought it was going to be, and I didn't think I'd be this way ever, where I'm accepting and actually promoting losses. Just like, let's wrap this guy up,
dude. Yeah, that's what this is. This is a meal that you're just like, you know what? I don't need to eat this. You know what I mean? Like I'll you know what? I'll eat a bowl of cereal later tonight. You know what I mean? Like this dinner didn't hit, and that's okay. You know what I mean? Like
what's made it easier is the fact that the rest of the NBA has gotten so very interesting, especially in the West. I mean, last night there were a couple games that were just utterly ridiculously good. Denver losing to Phoenix. You want to talk about a monumental blunder. Phoenix is going in. Their last 10-game stretch is the hardest of the season. Everybody they're playing is playoff teams, and they step out of San Antonio getting embarrassed and go to Denver and beat them. Then you see Houston, 10 straight. West is good. West, and we're coming to that point where the Clippers, it is truly time to do something or get off the pot. I mean, we are really there. And for a couple of minutes there, we thought everything was going to turn out. Is it? We got 10 games to prove it, and a great fight to the end. Did you see Draymond get thrown out early last night? And
dude, 4 minutes. Come on.
And Steph, near tears in the locker room. It's so sad to see the end of things. It hurts. And I never thought I'd hurt for that whole.
There is never a nice end to a dynasty. Ever. There never is. It's always painful and embarrassing and frustrating, and you never thought that it could be that way, that it would ever reach that point. But when you're a dynasty, you have to hold on forever. You have to try to get every last drop out, and they tried. And there's no shame at all in what the Warriors have been for the last 9-10 years.
Now, how do you obviously Draymond was yelling at the refs in a dead ball. Obviously, it was worthy of expulsion. But if anybody else would have been doing it, do you think it would have happened?
I do think it's a bit of a reputation thing at this point, but you got to know that. Like, that's the game that works for and against you, and that reputation's only your fault. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've made this bet at this point.
It was really Herculean of Steph to kind of pick his team up and carry him.
Man, Steph's going to be interesting to watch next year.
Well, he's the last of the Mohicans, man. And I have a feeling the Kerr's got him a deal, right? So it's just those two. They're going to get rid of Draymond as soon as humanly possible, despite his he's changed, right? Made good decisions with a new phone plan, which I thought up until last night was an absolutely brilliant ad campaign. They're going to have to pull it today, right? They can't continue to run the T-Mobile Make Wise Decisions ad with Draymond's ass and a locker room sign on the front.
Poorly, to say the least.
Who you got and who do you want? UConn plays tonight, and that's the odds-on national championship by the most inside the bracket world. Who do you got and where you going? Let's look at the Sweet 16, the TV ratings, and the ladies too. As what has been what an extraordinary week. And this opening day, we'll look at that. Hang on tight, more for you coming next. This is the Morning Huddle, and you're on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on the Blitz, we are live from Las Vegas, circa Las Vegas, in fact, and there's a lot going on. Opening day of Major League Baseball.
Plus Sweet 16. We'll talk some NFL. John McClain joined us at 5:15. Blackjack, craps, slot machines, and did you see that at the pool? Woo! The Blitz starts live at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Somebody's knocking the door. I walk over, and there's Toby Keith. I'm like, hey, Toby Keith. He's like, hey, is Rick James in here? I'm like, yeah. He does like to smoke the weed.
Yes, he does.
Yes. We are having some celebrities, Rick James and Dan Haggerty and
Grizzly Adams?
Grizzly Adams.
Wow.
Hello, Grizzly Adams.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Every Saturday morning.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Are you ready to party with a purpose? Taste of the Northside is Thursday, April 18th at the beautiful Security Service Event Center. This elevated fiesta event for foodies includes on-site covered parking, entertainment, unlimited tastings from over 30 premier restaurants, countless curated wines and craft beers, hosted by Brighton Center, presented by HEB. Purchase tickets at tasteofthenorthside.org. Proceeds benefit Brighton Center, the largest nonprofit in San Antonio, serving children with disabilities through pediatric therapy and education initiatives.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for more than 50 years. Went to grade school, high school, and graduated from law school right here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after serious injury and fatality collision since 1994. My website is alawyerforus.com. Why a lawyer for us? Well, after several years of practice, I watched as insurance companies created their own law firms solely to defend against auto claims. Today, there are very few insurance companies that do not have their own captive law firm filled with attorneys whose job is to minimize what the insurance company has to pay on an auto claim. If you or a family member is injured in a traffic collision, you will need your own attorney. Just remember alawyerforus.com. For many lawyers you see on billboards, your case will be handled by a non-lawyer or a staff lawyer. If you call me, Jason Thompson, I will be the lawyer you speak with. The initial consultation is always free. If you or a family member needs an experienced attorney you can trust, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 900-0400. That's 210-900-0400 or alawyerforus.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
When it's time for the March Mania brackets to bust wide open. As I was saying, it's mad. The mania of March at BetUS.com is all about those buzzer beat bonus offers. And when the madness starts and Cinderella man steps onto the BetUS always has your back with back-to-back 125% sign-up bonuses on your first 3 deposits and even 10% gambler's insurance. BetUS.com Sportsbook and Casino, where the game... Join today. BetUS Sportsbook and Casino, where the game begins.
Dog parents are loving Dr. Marty's Nature's Blend Premium Dog Food.
The way she acts and the way she moves, it's just so much better. And she's like a puppy again. It's unbelievable.
Dr. Marty's Nature's Blend is a freeze-dried raw food made with 0 artificial preservatives, so it's naturally shelf-stable with no mess, freezer, or fridge required. Plus, it's full of premium turkey, beef, salmon, and meat your dog will love.
We started with Nature's Blend. She's happy. She sleeps well. She's energetic. I am just delighted with this product.
When given the choice, Nature's Blend and Amazon's #1 bestseller in dry dog food, 29 out of 30 dogs chose Nature's Blend first.
I'm so confident your dog will love it. Your order is backed with a 90-day guarantee.
Save up to 54% off Nature's Blend and get a free bag of delicious beef liver treats. Go to drmartypets.com/good or text GOOD to 511-511. Text GOOD to 511-511. All pets are unique. Your pet's results can and will vary. Message and data rates may apply. Studies available upon request.
Ulta Beauty's semi-annual beauty event is happening now. Unleash your love for beauty with 50% off daily beauty steals on hair, skin, makeup, and fragrance. Shop your favorite brands like Tarte and Fenty Beauty by Rihanna. Plus, grab perfect hair care pairs from brands like Redken and Olaplex. And check out new arrivals from brands like Charlotte Tilbury and Dyson. Shop the Ulta Beauty semi-annual beauty event online, in-store, or try pickup today. Now through March 28th. Ulta Beauty, the possibilities are beautiful. Conditions apply.
When Cynthia came to TurboTax, she had just launched her new side gig, a true crime podcast.
I'm a first-rate detective with a golden voice.
As her TurboTax expert, I made her second income count by guaranteeing 100% accurate filing and her maximum refund.
What did she do with that refund? Find out next week.
Switch to Intuit TurboTax and make your moves count. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
Check out the 2024 Basketball Mayhem at sasportstar.com. Enter your best bracket for the chance to win an incredible $1 million prize at sasportstar.com.
Hey, it's the Morning Huddle. Check it out. It's RJ wearing an Astros jersey. It's opening day.
What are you wearing? Describe it.
I'm not.
That's true.
I'm prepared for an evening of basketball, not an afternoon of baseball. Though I am excited.
Right. Well, I mean, not wearing anything is a bold choice for anything.
Well, depending on how you look.
That makes the fact that you're drinking a hot cup of coffee all the more dangerous and precarious.
If you look at your brackets, it's probably the left side that you'll be paying attention to tonight as we get games in the Sweet 16 from the East and the West. How they both end up on the left side of your bracket, I don't know. That's not up to me to decide. But that's the bracket I'm looking at on ESPN.com. So as we get started, UConn will be taking on San Diego State. The Final Four teams from last year will prevent one from going this year. Illinois, Iowa State could be the most intriguing matchup of the evening, the 2-3, but we have a lot of high-end matchups because of the success of the higher brackets. North Carolina, Alabama. There is a rivalry. It's just like the Iowa State-Illinois game. You got two conferences real close to each other, share a lot of bloodlines, share a lot of teams, and a lot of recruiting. Backyard battles both. Great games, not the needle movers that I think tomorrow night will be, but great games. As an old coach used to call them, blood and gut game. And then you've got the Arizona Clemson game, an early tip as well at 6:09.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to see some great teams today, obviously. Arizona getting a little slept on. UConn, obviously. North Carolina. Is North Carolina slept on?
I think they kind of are. I don't think the ACC was given their just desserts and have taken it in the tournament, as the triangle is intact there in Tobacco Road, as all of the schools on that little area are still participating along with Clemson. Yeah, I think they were undervalued, and they have proven that the ACC is still a blue blood conference.
Well, in North Carolina involved today, obviously. The Iowa State-Illinois game, kind of a disappointing nightcap, I think. Right, like
not for me, man. This is, to me, the Iowa State Illinois game is kind of like the best middleweight fight that between two dudes that you've kind of heard about but really haven't paid a lot of attention to, and they're about to fight to see who gets the title. Maybe stepping into cruiserweight ahead and toward it. They are both solid basketball teams that play games like it's football. I mean, it's sport there, and both of them are going to go that route. And we saw what Iowa State did to Houston. They did to Houston what Houston does to other teams. That old axiom is you press a pressing team, and you guys know what I'm talking about. And for those who know, that's what Iowa State did. They brought Houston's game to Houston, and Houston wilted. They're not quite as tough as Houston, but they play as tough a defense, if that makes some sense. So, and Iowa's led by a couple of dudes that get buckets. There's an NBA possibility there. And their coach spent a lot of time in East Texas over at Stephen F. To me, it's a basketball purist game. It is style versus style. It's going to be a fight. I think the first team to 85 wins this game. It's not going to be a lot of buckets scored. To me, it's a great nightcap. But you're right. This tonight doesn't move the needle, because I think this is set up for UConn to kind of slide right into the Final Four. San Diego State's worthy. Pay attention to what's his name? Tyree Liddell. Looks like a Spur, for lack of a better term, defense first kind of guard. But I think, when your front and center team has the easiest game of the night, it just kind of shows where things are. And the other ones are more for the bracket followers and the favorite picks.
So UConn, we agree UConn's the best team playing today.
I would say that they are the best solid team. I'm not sure they've played the best game. I think Purdue has played the best game of the tournament. Not that Utah State was awful, but the way Purdue took care of Utah State last weekend, and Zach Edey, we're talking about a triple-double in the first half. It was such an utter domination. It got to the point, I'm not sure it was good for anybody, but it was the most dominating game that I saw. But UConn has been the best team throughout the tournament.
I just saw a tweet from the general, John McClain, who will join the Blitz later today. Is that correct?
That is correct. It is Thursday.
And so it's about Houston, and they obviously play tomorrow. But I do want to ask you something as a student of the history of Houston, which you definitely are. Right? You've written many books on the city's history. He tweeted out, I've been in Houston since 1976. I can't remember when fans were more fired up about our teams. Cougars in the Sweet 16 again. Rockets with a 10-game winning streak. Astros begin the season versus the Yankees. Texans coming off of a playoff season and preparing for the draft.
He's right.
It's kind of the sports place to be right now.
He's right.
In this state.
Yeah.
I mean, the Rockets thing might be the most loose and least stable, right?
But we're talking about right now, 10 straight wins, and they're beating good teams on the road. That tweet makes, especially waking up this morning after what they did to Oklahoma City yesterday.
We've been talking about how this is maybe the best weekend in sports or whatever, and there's a debate around that. But if you're a Houston fan, if you're Houston through and through, today you get the Astros at home against the New York Yankees, who your team historically owns, right? So it's not just like, oh, cool, we get to play the Yankees. We get to play the little brother New York Yankees. Not a lot of teams can refer to them that way. You've obviously got the Rockets continuing what they're doing. Tomorrow, you have your Cougars with a chance to wipe out Duke. You know what I'm saying? You have a chance to really kind of announce yourself, hopefully on the path to the Final Four. You've obviously got the Texans who are existing, but not really doing anything right now. This is kind of a hot time for the 281, the 832.
The Texans re-signed Neville Hewitt yesterday, so they've been kind of busy.
Oh, right.
But it is good to be a Houston type right now, and I hate every bit of it. I mean, I'm all for individual success, but unified and inside the vastness that is the wasteland of Houston.
Who do you hate of the Sweet 16 teams? How about that? Who do you hate the most?
Well, this year there's not a lot of hatred just because of the success of my bracket. So, I've never been a fan of Clemson for anything.
Really?
And I don't know why. I think it's because they have the arrogance of a private school, and you're from South Carolina, man. The Dabo-ness, I don't know. I always preferred the South Carolina
impact their basketball team.
No, but I'm just talking about the school.
Okay,
they're a little ate up. I've always been more akin to the Gamecocks.
That's your South Carolina school of record. Okay,
so
I
will say they're my least favorite. And there's a close second though.
I'll go Illinois. You don't belong here. You don't belong in this conversation. Let's be real. You know what I mean? Let's just be real with ourselves. No, if you're telling me there's a Midwest team who's in the Sweet 16 and it's Indiana, get out of here. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want you, in this mix. And nobody knows how to pronounce your mascot. You know what I mean? Like, that's you bother me the most, Illinois.
It's the Illini.
Stupid.
And they are
Illinois sounds
a
cool.
First Nations type area up there.
Wow.
So I think you need to.
So who do you have winning tonight, since your bracket is prophecy?
My bracket is indeed prophecy. I do have UConn taking down San Diego State. I do have Iowa State taking down Illinois. I also have, believe it or not, I don't like my pick.
But
I have North Carolina beating Bama, but I think Bama might have a chance here. And Zona beating Clemson.
This isn't the Blitz, so there's no second chances around.
I know,
here
I'm
with your
not erasing. I'm very confident in all of those, but I do think that Alabama is looks like the low-key good underdog to get there.
That's the CBS game.
And we want Coach Clonch to remain successful because he can use it for his recruiting pitch when he arrives here at UTSA. Remember, the brand new UTSA Roadrunner head coach is an assistant sitting on Nate Oates' bench there in Alabama. Clonch is his name, and he'll be a Roadrunner as soon as Bama loses. So, hey, Bama, keep winning, man. Maybe you'll meet a recruit or two on the way there. Either way, we got more to do. Hang around with us. The Morning Huddle will gather together after this sweet break. We're going to hear from Ian Eagle at 9:15. You had a good chance to sit down with him. But coming up, let's talk some NFL. There have been many changes. The Cowboys have not been a part of any of them. Pro days are going on all around the league. The value of the pro day. Coming up. This is the Morning Huddle, and you're on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I want to talk to you real quick. If you're people living in pain, so many of us just accept the fact that this thing is going to hurt, and we go on with life and just let things kind of get out of our hands. Don't live that way. Arosty providers are all around San Antonio, and they're experts at getting you out of pain that keeps you out of doing things that you love. So if you woke up this morning or you did something to yourself where you're limping around and can't go do something with your grandkids, or can't go hang with the kids, or can't go do the honey-do list that you've got to get done, call Arosty. Not only can they get you fixed, but they can get you fixed fast. I'm living proof. I've had lower back issues, and anybody who's had lower back spasms and all the things that go along with that know how debilitating it can be and how long it can be before you get back to normal. I staggered into an Arasti provider full seizure about 6 years ago for the first time. Not only did they get me fixed, but it was fast. And then as we went through the process of 3 visits, I learned the triggers, things that caused the problems. And from that point on, I have been an Arasti patient. What are you waiting for? Things you need to know. They accept most insurances. That's not a problem. And you don't need a referral, so you don't even need to worry about that. So write this number down. It's 1-800-404-6050. There's a website that's a great resource, not only to get yourself feeling good again, but a map of all the providers. I promise you, there's a provider less than 10 minutes from where you are now. It's Arasti.com. Listen to me. Don't let pain keep you from doing things that you love. There's a fix out there. It's called Arasti. Call them today. Let them take care of you. And when they do, I want you to thank me later.
Nothing beats March Madness. The pure sound of a swish, the rattle of a slam dunk, the fans on their feet for the big moments. And the action just keeps getting better until a national champion is crowned. Hear all the action with Westwood One's exclusive coverage of the NCAA men's and women's tournaments right here
on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star and San Antonio's ESPN 1250.
Pork rinds pack a protein punch and are the boldest low-carb snacks out there. Skip the chip and try Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds for that ultimate crunch. And with flavors that will have you craving for more, the time to stock up on Southern Recipe at H-E-B is now. Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds. Be big, be bold, be adventurous.
Puro San Antonio football is back at the Alamo Dome. Join the herd and watch your Brahmas in the best seats at the best prices. Single, season, and group tickets are available now. Don't miss any Brahmas action this season, led by legendary head coach Wade Phillips. The Brahmas kick off the season March 31st against the DC Defenders in the Alamo Dome. Let's pack the Dome. Experience the excitement. Head to theufl.com to buy your Brahmas tickets today. That's theufl.com. Vamos Brahmas!
At BetUS.com, why do we care about a college basketball tournament every March, where bets mean everything? Because it's March Mania, where glory triumphs and anything can happen, where underdogs can make or break our hearts. Because it's March Mania, where brackets are broken and buzzers are beaten. And there's always been a sportsbook there for you and your best buds. Because it's March Mania. BetUS has been with you through 30 marches together. And like any good six-man, we've always had your back. And because it's March, BetUS.com is matching the mania with a mad offer. Back, 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. And the extra confidence that comes from a 10% gambler's insurance. Because anything can happen during March Mania. BetUS Sportsbook and Casino, where the game begins. Get started today.
I spray and scrub, but the soap scum in my bathtub is still there.
I spray and scrub, but the burnt sauce on my stovetop sticks around.
Sprays can leave grime behind, but new Mr. Clean Ultra Foamy Magic Eraser combines the scrubbing power of an eraser with the cleaning power of Dawn to melt away tough messes on contact.
Just wet, squeeze, and erase.
Stop spraying, start erasing, and clean with more magic than ever with new Ultra Foamy Magic Eraser.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
Progressive presents good news, bad news, dumb news, then great news. Good news. A letter in your mailbox says you could save money bundling your home and auto insurance with Progressive. Bad news. You saw it after your teenager backed the car into the mailbox. Dumb news. A new mailbox, basically a box on a stick, costs up to $400. Great news. You decide to see if you could save money bundling at Progressive.com and go with paperless mail instead. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Before you fire up that grill, make sure you get into Tri-County Meat Market. Hi, Jason Minix here. Tri-County Meat Market has everything you need. If you're thinking steaks, you want some chicken, some poppers, beef ribs, pork ribs, brisket, picanha, tri-tip. They've got it all at Tri-County Meat Market. Take advantage of their Pick 5 for $25, and Tri-County always offers a 10% discount for military and first responders. Tri-County Meat Market, 2 locations on Ralph Fair Road and on Heavener, or online at tricountymeat.com.
Hard work and dreams lead to success, but easily filing your taxes with TurboTax and Credit Karma doesn't hurt either. Make filing taxes a walk in the park, because we'll pre-fill your info for you so you can file quickly and confidently. Winner! Get the peace of mind that comes with expert help. Let's go! Being powered by TurboTax means you're backed by the leading tax preparer, and we'll show you all your filing options up front so there are no surprises. File your taxes on Intuit Credit Karma today. Expert help not available with all products. Guarantee details available at turbotax.com/guarantees.
Good morning, everybody. Jason Minix here from The Blitz, starting at 2 o'clock today. We are live in Las Vegas, broadcasting from Circa Las Vegas. Sweet 16, opening day of Major League Baseball. Go Astros. Plus, we'll talk some NFL. John McClain joins us at 5:15. Hey, Rob, I found some of that money you left at Circa when we were here for the Super Bowl.
I left a fair amount on the tables, on the floors, a variety of places. This is the Morning Huddle. He's RJ, I'm Rob. Thanks for getting in with us today. Don't mind the brake lights. We'll get you wherever you might be going. We got about an hour and 20 minutes of fun headed your direction. Easy E driving this boat. The NFL front and center. It is pro day for the most bigger schools are having their pro day this week. I saw Jaden Daniels running around yesterday. Drake May, I think, runs around today. Penix has done his. Has Oregon and Bo Nix done his?
Yeah, that one already happened. So
the Aggies had there about a week ago. Nothing. I don't know what the pro day, I'm sure, has a place somewhere in the hierarchy of recruiting importance. There's some value there, I think, but I don't think it's on the field.
I mean, at this point, you've seen everything you need to see, right? Like, there's nothing
what exactly are we doing here?
I think at this point, like a lot of things, it's just a networking event, and not even for, what you're gonna, who you're gonna draft now, right? Like an example would be Texas had their pro day recently, like Quinn Ewers through. You know what I'm saying? So he's like getting ahead of the conversation for the future. You know what I'm saying? Because like Marvin Harrison Jr. ran at last year's pro day for Ohio State, but he didn't do anything this year. And so it's networking, it's conversations, it's exchanging phone numbers, exchanging emails, doing that special tap thing to share content.
I mean, the thing they could have done in Indianapolis 3 weeks ago.
What's that?
All the networking you're just talking about, they couldn't have done that 3 weeks ago, or are they just following up on the card that what I'm getting at is what I heard yesterday, and Jaden Daniels is going to be, if given the right opportunities and situation, looks like a pretty good prospect. Looks like a guy can play. All the numbers look good. I've seen him in a variety of ways. I've seen him in shorts. I've seen him in, a lot of different things. And it looks like he's up there. If he's not number one, he's top 5, top 3, depending on the eye of the beholder. Nothing good could have happened, or bad. Nothing better could have happened for Jaden yesterday. I mean, and when I heard Louis Riddick talk about the same things they talked about at the combine, the same thing they talked about in practice, the same things they talked about when he transferred, all of his positive attributes are just being magnified yet again. But Riddick said something, and I thought, well, here's the value. It was, the way he was around his teammates. I couldn't get over the fact of how he handles his guys and led the dudes during this practice kind of thing. And I thought, well, maybe that is the reason I would go, just to see how he hangs around with his team. But there's nothing I'm going to get. Like, I can take a stopwatch and a clipboard if I want to, but what on earth am I going to see that I haven't already seen?
Even the teammate thing is so
it's so
overblown.
Yeah,
so
the Kevin
cliche,
Costner-esque, like nobody went to his birthday party.
Yeah, I mean, it's just ridiculous at this point. I think if you want the cold hard truth, it's a money-making opportunity that nobody wants to die, because everybody wants them. Everyone wants the opportunities that it provides, whether it's networking or financially related or whatever. And there is value to it, right? Like, there's value to talking to coaches and people who you may only see on that particular campus or whatever. But yeah, the idea that, I mean, this isn't 1983 anymore, where you've got to go and that's your only opportunity to see this player throw or this player run. You mentioned it with how you can't really improve your stock. That's why Marvin Harrison Jr. didn't work out. That's why he didn't do anything at the combine, because like, if you're a highly, highly, highly touted prospect, all you is slip. all you can do is fall. All you can do is damage your stock, and you have come this far. You are 9/10 of the way there. Why risk anything for anything at this moment in time when you're, just absolutely so close to life-changing money and life-changing status?
Now, one thing I might be paying attention to now on these pro days is I'm suddenly looking at your kick returners. I'm suddenly looking at your punt returners, the dudes with the 5-yard quickness that, got the first guy never makes the tackle, that guy that might have made, on the edge of a football team because he could be a special tems, but he was tough enough to be on the edge, a gunner. Those guys that can really return, but suddenly there's a requirement for that guy. There's 20 guys in the world today that are going to be in the NFL soon because of the change of the kickoff rule. 20 guys are suddenly going to make millions of dollars because the NFL decided, and there's 20 guys that are suddenly losing millions of dollars because there's no room for them in the modern league, the modern way you staff a team.
Something I think is interesting is there's been some conversation on Cowboys Twitter, at the very least, about how we're all so quick to say, Kevontae Turpin's going to really, really, really benefit from the change in kickoff rules, right? Because he's the Cowboys returner. You can make an argument that because of the style of return, the style of whatever you want to call it, that the most important element isn't speed or elusiveness, but its ability to read blocks, its ability to read the field. So you might want somebody more like Deuce Vaughn in that role because Deuce Vaughn is more accustomed to that, obviously.
I'll tell you what, this is the ideal kind of guy that does the ideal kind of things for this moment. I agree with that.
It's, again, I'm not jumping on the Deuce Vaughn hype train for a little while. Again, it's too early. There's too many other things preoccupying my attention to have to reach that far. But that makes sense. Like, it makes sense to maybe prefer not slower, but less quick player who's better at evaluating things, because you are going to have not an offensive line and defensive line, but you are going to have a more traditional kind of line of movement that you have to read and understand and look at from a blocking perspective.
Around the rest of the league, Jadeveon Clowney heads home with a pretty good paycheck.
Dude,
how does he continue to get paid
so much money?
2 years, $20 million to go back to the Carolina Panthers, man. Timing is everything in life.
Has anyone made more money off of one hit in their life? That one hit he had against, was it Michigan? Just vaulted him and changed his whole life. Good for him.
We teased it. While the Cowboys have maintained they're perfectly happy with the Rico Dowdle and Deuce Vaughn in the room, McCarthy even told us this week, they're looking at the room. And, we heard from Jane Slater a couple weeks back that something was cooking. That was in part of her social medias. And there was quotes and there was some, wink, wink. And we thought that Dalvin Cook was imminent. That didn't happen. We started hearing rumors that their Zeke might be coming home. So far, I think they floated that. Was what's his name? The guy that floated this, by the way, the mouthpiece.
Our favorite beat writer, Michael Gelkin.
Was Gelkin the one that floated Zeke?
That Dalvin Cook or Zeke Elliott are possibilities.
Okay, so that's where we are.
That's
okay. For those of you new to the show and don't know what we're talking about. Michael Gelkin.
What the hell took you so long to get here?
Where you been? And if you're just getting here, what you need to do now is go to our YouTube channel, subscribe, and put a thumb on it like all the cool kids have, and then you can listen to what we have to say. But for those of you who are new to the show, Gelkin, by RJ's measure, and I firmly believe that RJ's right, that whenever the Cowboys want to float something, when they want to get the news out as per their side of whatever it is, Gelkin's the guy they call.
I wouldn't word it that way.
Well, they have people that talk to his people, and they both trust each other to print and say the right things.
I wouldn't use the expression of being a mouthpiece or anything like that. He is just the most. When he says something, it is serious. It is real.
It's real.
It's on the verge. It isn't like some pontification or anything like that. There is legitimate life to it. So for him to say, he was the first person to say, this Dak thing might not happen until August. And look at where we are. And so for him to say, because the Zeke thing you bring it up and you get all these yahoos that are like, I've been saying this for 6 months. And it's like, yeah, well, we could all say silly, whatever things. But for Gelkin to say it means there is legitimate life to it.
So, and I think that it was floated when we heard Zeke just to kind of test the waters, because I think that while Jerry might be tone deaf and not know what the hell's going on, I do think Steven's got moles other places and he gets the sense of what's happening. That's just my idea, that they wanted to see. Now, I know the populace is mad. Will they be even madder if we bring Zeke back? And I don't think the response was such that they jumped out to sign him. But I think that Jane Slater, and I talked about it, I think she got a whiff of that too. But that hasn't happened. And now J.K. Dobbins, which is a name that, quite frankly, should have been on a roster by now. I mean, before Zeke.
I don't know about that.
He's not terrible. He's just always hurt.
He wasn't medically cleared until like 2 days ago.
So
I mean, that was a factor.
There you go. But I think if he was fully healthy, he'd have been a back that would have been mentioned long before the aged, other than his injuries. J.K. Dobbins seems like a guy. Is that a logical thing to say? Would the Cowboys, given their salary cap constraints, or whether on purpose or uninformed, could they even afford a guy like that?
At this point, there's nobody they can't afford, because at this point, you know what I'm saying? Like that's like I tell this story often about how on Black Friday my cousin and I went at like 6 p.m. and I bought The Social Network for $2. When you go to Black Friday at 6 p.m., you can afford everything that's left. Anybody can. You know what I'm saying?
There's something wrong with everything.
Right, exactly. And so that's where we're at. It's 6 p.m. on Black Friday. It's the day after. It's Saturday after Black Friday now. And so you can definitely afford everything, Dallas Cowboys. And I'm not going to outright accuse them of this. So I'm not accusing them of what I'm going to say. But I think that they understand, at the very least, that bringing Zeke back would incite some things. Some fans would be really upset, especially because they're already on the books for Zeke this year. I mean, because of the horrible contract that they gave him that they cut him for last year. They would literally be paying him twice over if they brought him back this year. All right?
He's double dipping on his own with the same employer. I appreciate that.
And so I'm not accusing them of this. But I wonder if because right now, if we were an NFL team, any NFL team, give me a non-Cowboys team. Say it out. First one that comes to mind. 3, 2, 1, go.
Jets.
Okay, well, that's a horrible example. But still, we're the Jets. All right, we need to sign a running back. We look at the open market, who's left. Zeke's kind of one of the top names, right? Like, it's kind of difficult to argue somebody else over Zeke Elliott at this moment in time based on where we're at. And so I'm not accusing the Cowboys of this, but I do wonder if they waited and they're like, well, but they wanted to get to a point where we would all have to sit here and go, well, I guess, Zeke is the best option. You know what I mean? You have, and some, all the copers and hopium people will say, oh, look, who did you want them to go sign? Zeke was the best guy available on the open market. So you're not satisfied or happy with anyone. They bring in the best running back available, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, they bring in the best running back available in the middle of May when it doesn't make any sense.
Now, I know this is a stretch, but would it help to grease the skids for a Dak signing if Zeke was back home?
At the very look,
it couldn't hurt, right? They're bros.
It's not a Zeke thing. Like, I have no ill will against Zeke, but at this point, it would be such a it would be such a Tracy McGrady on the Spurs.
Let's take your friend to the prom. I mean, yeah, I know you,
but it would be such a fake thing, It would, but at this point, the circus is so crazy that why not? And if this is Dak's last year, give him his buddy. You know what I mean? For whatever, fine, whatever. At this point, I'm so apathetic. I'm not even. People are telling me all the time, like, I know you're really mad at the Cowboys. I'm not mad at the Cowboys. I nothing the Cowboys. I'm so apathetic towards them.
RJ, you're mad. You are furious.
No, I'm so nothing with them. Not because that's where they're at. They're in a nothing place. So good job, Cowboys. You got here all on your own. You found this spot, and I doubt you can get out of it yourselves.
I'm looking at the list of the available free agents. Just happens.
It's a depressing list.
It's not terrible. And if we're gonna do some retreads, if Zeke isn't even on the list of top free agents, so that's where we are. But there is a former Cowboy that is. And given their situation, and given that we know him, would Connor Williams be crazy to come home?
He might not play football again, dude.
Is the injury that bad?
Yeah, he's got a massive injury. And so if there was a former Cowboy that I would have loved,
it's just a knee, right?
But there's chatter that he might not play. That's what people are saying. But if there was a former Cowboy that you could have entertained me or interested me in bringing back this offseason, it's too late now. It would have been Cedric Wilson. I mean, because you need another wide receiver option. He was so great. It was such a bummer when he left in the first place after that 21 season. And that would have been the guy I would have wanted, but he's a member of the New Orleans Saints now. So,
well, if you're, what about Tyler Boyd?
I mean, I guess.
Hunter, hey, we're doing some shopping here. I'm just looking at, this is the end cap there at HEB with the stuff that's marked down with the weird tags.
Like what you're saying is like, how about corn-flavored toothpaste?
How about Hunter Renfrow? It's like two left of a pretty good six-pack.
All these things would have been great a long time ago. You know what I mean? And that's just the reality of where we're at.
DJ Chark, can I interest you in a slightly used Chark?
I'm going to pass personally at this point. But that's the result of digging the hole that they've dug themselves. Now this is where they're at.
Hey, coming back, one of our very favorites in the broadcast world is Ian Eagle. Nobody calls a game like he, and he'll be busy all weekend long as he calls NCAA and one of the best pro basketball voices in the business. RJ Ochoa, had a chance to sit down with him. Ian Eagle is around the corner at 9:15. But coming up, the Spurs won themselves a road game. There's just a few left. What are the prospects? Can they surpass the worst record of all time? It's coming up next. This is the Morning Huddle.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.
Ahead of the field and throws it down with a right hand.
Your home for the NBA.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
I still get PMS. You know what I mean? So
why don't you get
know.
a hysterectomy? California,
actually, I've had a partial
everything.
hysterectomy, smart ass.
Why didn't you get a full?
I don't know. I don't know why they didn't just gut me.
When they gut you, like a fish, do you age out quicker? Does that estrogen keep you a little younger?
Do you flop around on the dock?
The John Clay Wolf Show, every Saturday morning.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show, Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon, right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Public health is more than just healthcare. While a doctor treats individuals, public health looks at the health of a community. At Metro Health, we research the risk of illness and take action to stop the spread of infectious diseases. We introduce prevention and early detection activities that help individuals enjoy healthier lives. We protect against environmental health hazards. Metro Health collaborates with community partners to improve health outcomes because we are all public health. Celebrate National Public Health Week with us. Learn more at sa.gov/health.
Ulta Beauty's semi-annual beauty event is happening now. Unleash your love for beauty with 50% off daily beauty steals on hair, skin, makeup, and fragrance. Shop your favorite brands like Tarte and Fenty Beauty by Rihanna. Plus, grab perfect hair care pairs from brands like Redken and Olaplex. And check out new arrivals from brands like Charlotte Tilbury and Dyson. Shop the Ulta Beauty semi-annual beauty event online, in-store, or try pickup today. Now through March 28th. Ulta Beauty. The possibilities are beautiful. Conditions apply.
When Cynthia came to TurboTax, she just launched her new side gig, a true crime podcast.
I'm a first-rate detective with a golden voice.
As her TurboTax expert, I made her second income count by guaranteeing 100% accurate filing and her maximum refund.
What did she do with that refund? Find out next week.
Switch to Intuit TurboTax and make your moves count. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Corn.
Frost Bank Center October 21st with special guests Gojira and Spirit Box. Korn. Get tickets this Friday at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com. For more, visit cornofficial.com.
If you can't sleep because of annoying knee pain, that's a problem. If you stop running because your feet always hurt, that's a problem. If your elbow, shoulder, and neck pain make it impossible for you to do your job, that is a problem, and it's time to finally do something about it. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett from Arasti. At Arasti, we fix pain fast. No medications, no injections. Arasti treatment is completely natural and non-invasive. Plus, we accept most insurance plans. There's a location near you. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
With Progressive Snapshot, you could save on auto insurance rates by driving safely, which is great because you're rarely rewarded for just being you. Ever get rewarded for being left-handed? No. You get to use weird scissors. Your reward for being a Capricorn? Cold birthdays that conflict with the holidays. And your reward for quickly responding to every work email? More emails. But with Snapshot, even left-handed Capricorns with proper email etiquette could get rewarded for good driving. So download the Progressive app today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates. Snapshot not available in all states or from all agents.
To thank you for 40 unforgettable years, Dell Technologies is celebrating with anniversary savings on their most popular tech. For a limited time only, save on select next-gen PCs like the XPS 13 Plus, powered by Intel Core processors, and more. Plus, curate your dream setup with great deals on select monitors, mice, and more must-have electronics and accessories. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to leading-edge technology and free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. San Antonio's Sports Center.
The San Antonio Spurs hit the ground running. The Delta Center hosted a win as the Spurs took down the Jazz 118-111. Devin Vassell led the way with 31 points. Wemby added 19. They were 5 total in double figures in the Spurs win. They return home tomorrow night taking on the New York Knicks. It is Sweet 16 that night. First half gets going this evening, and it's opening day.
This Sports Center update is brought to you by Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 100% satisfaction guarantee.
Wembenyama goes behind the back here. Oh, little sidestep and a jam by Wembenyama.
It's knocked away by Wembenyama. This is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. With Rob Thompson and the managing editor of Blogging the Boys, RJ Ochoa. Now, here's Rob and RJ.
Hey, gather around. There's a bunch to talk about. It is the Morning Huddle. That's RJ. I'm Rob on one of the finest sporting days of the calendar year. We have opening day. Yeah, the Astros and the Rangers are in action. Our brother station, sister station, however you want it. San Antonio's ESPN 1250 will play host to the Rangers' very first game of the season. That will begin. Let me get my calendar up here, so I want to give you the first pitch. Of course, the Astros will be playing as well. The Rangers pregame will get going at 5. We will have your game live versus the Cubbies going from 6 to 10 on ESPN 1250. The Astros are playing the Yanks, and we got a bunch of basketball tonight. But really, the most important news around here is San Antonio won. But I want to combine San Antonio winning, how they won, and the tournament.
Okay.
Because there's things in the tournament that have changed my attitude about what the San Antonio Spurs should be looking at as the draft comes. Edwin, will you do me a favor and pull up our current draft status? Where are our picks if we were to draft today? Where would we be drafting? Because Toronto has played a role in this. And, you know, as we've come in, we've got a couple of first-round draft picks. Both of them, one of them could be high lottery, but it's the protected and non-protected. But we got a couple that could really make some hay. Though it's not a great year in the draft.
Well, so Toronto's currently at 6.
Yes.
And it is protected.
So that
we need them to win just a teeny bit.
They ain't gonna win.
Are currently at 3.
We are at 3. The third pick is like the 10th pick in this NBA. It really is. There's really not a separator in this draft. First 10 guys, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. You need a tall guy. We got a couple of good tall guys. Need a shooter. We got a couple of good, but no greats in this. As I've watched the Spurs over the last couple of weeks, last night was standing because last night didn't feel like what I'd seen in previous games. And it might be a manpower thing with Utah, but they didn't use Walker Kessler, and they got kind of a smaller bigs. They didn't use them like we have seen other teams been used against Wemby, and that was just to attack and beat the dude up. Make him play a center, make him guard a power forward or a center by switch or by roster design, by lineup design, and just pound him. Just, take the kid to the woodshed all night long. And we've seen his play kind of degrade over the last couple of weeks. He's just getting tired because of the beating he's taken. Last night didn't play a lot of minutes, but he was off of a weekend of a night off, and we saw a little bit more activity, but he wasn't beaten up. What I'm getting at is this entire season, even coming into the tournament, all I could think about was the Spurs got to find a way to cut the turnovers down, put Wemby in the right place at the right time, and eliminate his need to do anything other than be Wemby. And that was a point guard in my mind. Find somebody, whether by draft or by free agent, that'll upgrade. And, Trey's played well. It's not a thing on Trey, but it's just a thing on where great teams are. I'll tell you, over the last 2 weeks, my attitude has changed. And it's one that seems obvious, and it's almost too easy to go at. But I think the Spurs need to go get another big. In fact, it sounds nuts. But I'm looking at, and it also, depends on where you're drafted. But I want to paint a picture of what could be, depending on what Wemby wanted and what the Spurs wanted, because it appears the Spurs wanted more of the center play. I mean, that's just, you're the tallest guy on the court, do some tall man things. But Wemby wanted to be this free-flowing 3-4 with us facing the basket, getting able to dribble, do the passing and all that. Well, it appears that no matter what has occurred, that's what he's going to be, whether we want it or not. And if we don't like it, he'll do it for somebody else. So all right. No. That's what we're going to be. So now let's go get a 5 to truly. Let me paint a picture of 15 feet of 4-5 of Zach Edey and Victor on the front lines. Maybe only for like 12, 13 minutes a night. But for those 12 or 13 minutes, defensively, it'll be something that obviously since the first attempt, Hakeem and Ralph. But defensively, we could be like Star Trek. We could be like the Enterprise and go places where no man has gone before, man. We're talking about the potential of 12 to 13 blocks a night. That there are no twos to be had. There certainly are no layups. You better come to hit threes because there's nothing else to get. I'm just saying. He ain't a number 1 pick. He probably isn't even a top 10 pick in the real world. But for the Spurs purposes, and if we're truly building and we're not paying attention to the world and say, well, that guy's better. No, it's not about who's better and who's got more stars and more ceiling. This is what we need. Why not get it?
Today is March 28th.
Yes.
Okay. Happy, by the way, Falcons Day, 3/28, 28-3 day. So do you know how many times this month Wemby shot north of 50% from 3? How many times?
I don't know the cross section. I'm going to say 4 times.
Once. And it was the very first game of March against the Pacers when he was 3 of 4, so 75%. Only twice has he been 50% or better. And that was the game last Saturday night against the Suns when they got destroyed. He was 1 of 2. So he was barely 50%. I'm not at all intimating that Wemby can't become an elite scorer and can develop as an elite scorer. I'm not saying that he won't be, but his primary asset is as a defender. You don't need a 5. You have it.
No.
Why do you
let him defend the 3? I think as much as he can defend the paint, you can replace
5.
Right. And he's capable of cutting off a third to a half of the court outside of the paint. So if you want to defend a kick out 3, why not have Wemby charging at you like a drive-in movie screen? I mean, that's the closeout. And you got Zach Edey behind you. I know that the Spurs are looking overseas. I know they're looking at other bigs that are a little bit more athletic that might be able to run with Wemby and the rest of the dudes for a longer period of time. But I remember Yao Ming. He couldn't run for long, but when he did run, it mattered. And you want to talk about a street light. Did you see what Edey did to Utah State? A triple-double in the first half. Now, that will never happen in the NBA, but for 15 minutes, even when I look at the small cross-section that the guy that Edey is most like in Boban, look at the production per minute even today. And Edey is a far more advanced player than Boban ever was. There is a place for Edey given the right circumstance. He ain't a lead. He ain't a starter unless he's got another dude that can do some of the stuff that he can't. And we got that guy. You want to talk about owning the paint, owning the defensive lines. It just seems to me. And then you add a Sohan in there who led the team in rebounding last night. It looks to me like if I'm putting the puzzle pieces together, that might be a good puzzle. I know that there are plenty of other guys that are more skilled, and I can be swayed other directions. Like I said, 2 weeks ago, I'm looking at the guards from Kentucky. Now I'm thinking, no, there's that legitimately.
Well, I know this has been your dream for all of 10 days, but
and I love it, and I'm sticking by it.
And I don't mean to say or imply that there's zero logic to it, but it seems like a way more difficult, I don't want to say path, but it seems like a less efficient utilization of resources.
Okay, now we're talking my language. So you're not saying you're against the guy, you're against the draft. Okay, so maybe the draft doesn't go there. Use some of the money to go get a guy like that. Go use somebody to go get a 6'10", and Al McGuire used to call him a space heater or a refrigerator. Go get a space heating refrigerator who will block 3 or 4 shots a night, who doesn't want the ball other than to pass it to somebody else, who likes to camp in the paint and is willing to be the 5th option for everything else. Go find me that guy. And if you can, then maybe I'd be willing to look at the French kid or a guard like Dillingham or whatever you might like. But I feel like watching what the team has been doing, and when they're at best, it's when Wemby's doing what he wants to do.
I think that, and maybe I'm alone here, but my hesitancy for any plan that isn't, going and getting scorers is I don't trust the Spurs to do it all. Like, you can do both. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can totally do both. Like, you can go out and build this roster everywhere, right? Like, there's nothing stopping you from getting that active. I just don't trust them to do both. And so if I can only have one, if this is a red pill, blue pill situation, if Morpheus is in front of us, I want to get the score. I don't want to sit here and be stuck and not be able to move the ball. But yeah, cool, we have 12 blocks tonight.
I agree.
Do you trust them? Do you trust them to do both?
No, I don't. And here's the problem with my prospect with Edey. And I know everybody's throwing, well, in the mock drafts, he's going 30th to Boston or 28th to Oklahoma City or whatever it might be. Yeah, I understand he's a deep first-round talent. But also, it's also, there's a lot of 5th-round quarterbacks that have done really well in the NFL. It's all about landing in the right place. And in this draft, the separation between 30 and 1 ain't that big. It's really not. Now, they're not the number ones by far. But what I'm saying as far as where the team goes, and as I've watched college basketball, and when the lights are on, who's performing at their best at the most important time, which is valuable to me. The man came to play the other night, and I just saw a potential of 15 foot of front line that would be the Iron Curtain. I mean, I can't imagine what that defense would look like.
There's no question that there's merit to it. Again, I just don't want to go that direction because I feel if I don't trust Brian Wright in the Spurs front office to go anywhere but one direction, right? Like, so if I want to head north, south, east, and west, I want to cover the globe here, but I only trust them to go one direction. So by going east, you're not going west. You get what I'm saying? And so I only trust them to put their eggs in one basket. And so right now I'm treating them like, okay, we need you to take 2 steps here. You know what I'm saying? Take 2 steps and go get something basic. And then once we do that, okay, like let's kind of start gathering some momentum here. I just don't want to remain stuck right here with an inability to score and rely purely and solely on Wemby from that perspective, because it will get there, to your point, but it will take a little bit of time before he is this elite offensive weapon, from the perimeter.
I just want you to picture Oklahoma City with a Zach Edey and a Chet Holmgren, because I would not put it past Presti to do something like that. It just feels like that kid has played himself into a situation where maybe, just maybe, he's more NBA caliber than a lot of people thought, even at the beginning of the play. We're going to talk about the rest of the teams playing Sweet 16 and the like in about 20 minutes. But first, Ian Eagle, who will be telling you a lot about the games you're witnessing over the next several days as he's on the call, one of the best in the business. He sat down with RJ Ochoa. That's two bestesses in the businesses. It's all together, and it's coming up next. It's the Morning Huddle, and you're on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. BetUS.com has been my book for as long as I've been over here at San Antonio Sports Star. Heck, they've been in business for nearly 30 years, taking you to the rack, telling you what you need, and getting you what you got all the time. And now they're doing things that they've never done before. It is a three-point play in that you have the opportunity now for 3 of your first 3 deposits. Your first 3 matched up to 125% of the deposit. Free money to play with 3 times. You're not going to see that anywhere in the industry. It is rather astounding. They've also got the 10% bettors insurance to take care of you all the way through the tournament. If you like the casino games, they got it right there. While you're playing the points, while you're doing your live bets and everything you love about BetUS, you got the casino action as well. So get on the line right now, BetUS.com. Get yourself signed up. Call them. Let them type. You talk. It's 1-800-MY-BETUS. Take advantage of the 125%, and you get that 3 times. If you're playing with crypto, you get even more. Remember, it is betus.com. Call them today. Get yourself signed up, and I know you're going to thank me later.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, we are live from Las Vegas, circa Las Vegas, in fact, and there's a lot going on. Opening day of Major League Baseball.
Plus Sweet 16. We'll talk some NFL. John McClain joined us at 5:15. Blackjack, craps, slot machines. And did you see that at the pool? Woo! The Blitz starts live at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Progressive presents advice on new teen drivers.
The hardest part about teaching your teen to drive is the chafing from the seatbelt. But the best part is the grip strength you build in your knuckles. Okay, now let's pull out of the driveway.
Here's another tip. Offset a chunk of the cost of adding a teen to your insurance with Progressive's Teen Driver Discount and get a break from the brake. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not in all states or situations.
Tax Talk with Straight Talk.
You give and you give. This tax season, you get with Straight Talk Wireless. You get a reliable 5G network and unlimited data and a Samsung Galaxy A14 included when you buy an extended silver unlimited plan. So you can give your janky phone to your kid. Yeah!
Switch to Straight Talk. Find us at Walmart and StraightTalk.com. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com. Device offer ends 4/14/24. Taxes and fees apply.
Hard work and dreams lead to success, but easily filing your taxes with TurboTax and Credit Karma doesn't hurt either. Make filing taxes a walk in the park, because we'll pre-fill your info for you so you can file quickly and confidently. Winner! Get the peace of mind that comes with expert help. Let's go! Being powered by TurboTax means you're backed by the leading tax preparer, and we'll show you all your filing options up front so there are no surprises. File your taxes on Intuit Credit Karma today. Expert help not available with all products. Guarantee details available at turbotax.com/guarantees.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Puro San Antonio football is back at the Alamo Dome. Join the herd and watch your Brahmas in the best seats at the best prices. Single, season, and group tickets are available now. Don't miss any Brahmas action this season, led by legendary head coach Wade Phillips. The Brahmas kick off the season March 31st against the DC Defenders in the Alamo Dome. Let's pack the Dome. Experience the excitement. Head to theufl.com to buy your Brahmas tickets today. That's theufl.com. Vamos Brahmas!
Ulta Beauty's semi-annual beauty event is happening now. Unleash your love for beauty with 50% off daily beauty steals on hair, skin, makeup, and fragrance. Shop your favorite brands like Tarte and Fenty Beauty by Rihanna. Plus, grab perfect hair care pairs from brands like Redken and Olaplex. And check out new arrivals from brands like Charlotte Tilbury and Dyson. Shop the Ulta Beauty semi-annual beauty event online, in-store, or try pickup today. Now through March 28th. Ulta Beauty. The possibilities are beautiful. Conditions apply.
When Cynthia came to TurboTax, she had just launched her new side gig, a true crime podcast.
I'm a first-rate detective with a golden voice.
As her TurboTax expert, I made her second income count by guaranteeing 100% accurate filing and her maximum refund.
What did she do with that refund? Find out next week.
Switch to Intuit TurboTax and make your moves count. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
Check out the 2024 Basketball Mayhem at sasportstar.com. Enter your best bracket for the chance to win an incredible $1 million prize at sasportstar.com.
Back here on the Morning Huddle, I'm RJ Ochoa, and I am joined by the voice of the madness. He has percolated the audio stylings of your home and of your brain on many a different occasion. He is one of my very, very favorite people, and he now knows that because I'm talking to him face to face. It is Ian Eagle. Ian, thank you so much for joining us here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Yeah, great to be with you, RJ. This would have probably gone in a different direction if you lead with, he is one of my least favorite people, but let's bring him on anyway. Ian Eagle, how are you, bud?
I'm doing well. I always think about this when I talk to people in your position, people who craft and weave memories for people. Do you ever think of it that way? Because, I think of moments growing up. I think of different sports, different sporting events. I cover the Dallas Cowboys, so Joe Buck kind of really lives in my head rent-free based on all the games on Fox. You do that for people. Like you imprint on people's lives forever.
I do think of that. And I think as a sports fan, RJ, we continuously catalog information, memories, in this case, calls that stick with you, the word usage, the verbiage, the turning of a phrase, all of that can enhance the actual event that you're watching. And my hope is always to complement the action, not get in the way of the action. So it's this very fine line. Broadcaster is not more important than the event. You've got to meld the two. You've got to weave yourself in without becoming the story. But if your word selection is good, if your tone, if your inflection, if there's a period at the end, if there's an exclamation point at the end, that all plays a role in the fans' overall memory of the actual event. So 100% on my mind. You can't go into the event with just that in your mind, but it has to be among the keys in your head when you're going through the checklist of what's required in this moment.
That's really well said. So I told you that I ask people that all the time. Something I've never asked a broadcaster because I've been saving it for Ian Eagle, obviously. It's my opinion that everyone is an at-home broadcaster on a certain take. People love to say, "Oh, they should have let the moment breathe." That is the most commonly said thing. Do you think that is an over criticism, if that makes sense? That there was actually a moment that didn't need to breathe, that the announcer speaking was totally fine to speak in the middle of?
Yeah, I think it's very much a read the room situation. We all face that in social situations. You enter a room and you've got to get a sense right away. What's the dynamic? Should I be talking? Should I be engaging? Should I sit back? And it's the same mental checklist that you go through when you're calling a sporting event. It's a feel thing. There's no doubt about it. I don't have a steadfast rule. I do this in this situation. Every situation is going to be different. How engaged is the crowd? Are they loud? How good are the pictures? If you've got great pictures, sometimes you don't have to say anything as a television announcer. If the pictures aren't great, you might have to jump in and provide further context. If the sound quality is incredible, you're doing a game and the cacophony of sound is bouncing off the roof at Jerry World, and it doesn't require you to jump in and provide the voice track, that might be a decision that you make to lay out, which is in broadcast terms, say nothing. So I think it's a case-by-case basis. I've done both. Certainly I've done games where I've had to talk a bit more and done some games where I had a quick hitter at the end and then just let the picture and the sound do their part.
That's really well said. The great Ian Eagle with us here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Ian, this is the question that everybody's been wondering. Have you since learned more about a portable washing machine? Like, have you learned about the process? Do you have one yet? Do you have a sponsorship deal with one? I have to imagine some balls are in the air on this process.
Yeah, what you're alluding to, Tracy Wolfson did a report on Dan Hurley, who travels with a portable washing machine because he has a bunch of superstitions and he has to wear the same exact thing, underwear, shirt, pants, socks, every game as long as they're winning. So how do you combat that? You got to avoid the stink factor.
Of course.
And he's got his wife in there helping out Team Hurley and Team UConn. I'm sure the assistant coaches and the players also don't want the odor on the sideline. I am going to have to cry naivete on this one. I did not know that was a thing. My wife later told me that, no, go on TikTok and you can see a bunch of portable washers. I haven't done it yet. I'm pretty much, locked in on the NCAA tournament right now, but I'm going to have to check that out and maybe buy myself one. I didn't even know that was an option in my life. Maybe my life will be better with a portable washer.
Yeah, I would have thought Dan Hurley would have done like, I'm a big Amazing Race fan, Team CBS here, Ryan. And like they wash clothes like in their sink and stuff like that. Like you would figure that would, if Tracy's report had been that, I would have been like, oh, that totally makes sense. Like you're just washing one outfit. You know what I'm saying? At least.
Okay, shout it out like that. That's okay. Exactly. Whatever you got to do to get through that day. We've all been there at some point in our lives, on the road, at a hotel, realize that you didn't pack the extra set of whatever that might be.
Gotcha.
Hey, dude, I gotta find the next option. That's my best option.
You mentioned your wife telling you that there are TikToks available, kind of how-tos on this. There's also TikToks on Sheba and the gravy race. I need to know about this and exactly what's happening in your life and in their life.
Yeah, so you just mentioned it, the Sheba gravy race. You're talking about top-level cat competition. This is the ultimate. If you didn't even know that cat races existed, this is your chance to experience them. I've now experienced it as a play-by-play announcer, and I bring the same gusto and passion and preparation to this event that I would for any event that I'm working. That's part of the job as a play-by-play announcer. This is obviously a lot of fun, and with Sheba Gravy Indulgence, it's a new flavor, so these cats were head over heels. It was catastic. Let's face it. They are going to wow you. These are some of the most popular cats in the world. RJ, I don't know if this is part of your day-to-day existence, but you could go on social media and find that some of these cats have thousands upon thousands, and then in some cases, millions of followers. There is a culture out there that is very passionate about felines. So if you're interested in My Boy Belarus or Paquito or Totally Tater, they're all out there for you to see.
That's really how the internet first began. Just a bunch of cat videos on YouTube.
Great point.
I mean, Sheba.com, that's SHEBA.com/gravy-race. More information, obviously. I'm a dog person, so no prejudice here, but it's just kind of where we're at. Once again, Ian Eagle with us here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Obviously, we're now maybe not knee deep into the tournament, but kind of ankle deep, calf deep, I suppose. Your thoughts so far, because a lot of people feel like it's gone rather chalk, and that's not a criticism, obviously, because I think we like that. We like the competitive teams. We like all 1 seeds and 2 seeds moving on and setting up what should be an incredible weekend this week, obviously with all sorts of college basketball action.
Yeah, having done this event for 26 years, I've seen every iteration. I've seen where the dominant programs take care of business, advance on to their regionals, and then those continue on to the Final Four. I've seen the shockers. I've been a part of it with St. Peter's 2 years ago. They emerged, then went to Philly, beat Purdue in the Sweet 16, and got dominated by North Carolina en route to the Tar Heels going to the national title game against Kansas. There's no right or wrong answer here. My sense of it, for those that are tournament purists, they like the upsets in the first round. So the smaller schools, the 14 seeds that pull off this incredible storyline and advance to the second round, they don't like it as much when those schools continue, because there's the possibility of non-competitive basketball when you get to the regionals and the Final Four. Look, I see it from all perspectives. If you're someone that attended a certain school that is not in the zeitgeist every year and being talked about, you go on one of these incredible runs, it's unforgettable. The George Masons, the Loyola Chicagos, even last year, Florida Atlantic and San Diego State to some degree. It means something. It means something to the university. It means something to the players. It means something to the alums, the families, all of it. That's what the tournament is all about. But certainly for the showcase of college basketball, you want quality games when it's the biggest stage. And the way things are setting up right now, I think we have a very good chance of getting that come Phoenix.
You mentioned Loyola Chicago. Obviously, they made the Final Four last time it was here in San Antonio in 2018, and we'll see you next year, obviously. And to that point, I wouldn't say that there was a lack of welcome, but I mean, especially with regards to the other three teams, it was, you get Villanova, you get Michigan, you get Kansas, and then it just kind of felt like this. But then you had the, the wonderful Sister Jean story and things like that, and that's what this tournament ultimately yields, is these stories, and I don't want to call them characters, but just these things that we can connect to as we're separating further and further away from football season into things that can capture our attention. We had that a little bit with Oakland last week. Who do you see as because you've been asked a million times, Ian, who should I pick in my bracket, whatever, but like, what school do you see as offering the most potential for that juicy story we're looking for as we move towards, next weekend and obviously national championship night?
Yeah, I definitely think Duke had planted itself now into the consciousness, and that's hard to even say because normally they are. I think they were being dismissed before this tournament began. The loss to North Carolina, followed up by the loss to NC State in the ACC tournament. And most people were already past Duke. It's not their year. I don't like the mix of this team. It's not set up for the tournament. And now here they are in the Sweet 16, taking on a number one seed, Houston, in Dallas. And if they win again, you're going to get to know these guys a little bit. Went off. 30 points, couldn't miss. This young man already has 2.4 million TikTok followers, so people are aware of him. And it's funny, like the niche part of it, his TikToks are based solely on lip syncing songs, but doing something while he lip syncs. So I just went on, this is research, RJ.
Obviously.
I have to be prepared. I went on and I didn't know what to expect. I just knew he had a bunch of followers, and that's what it is. It's him lip syncing with a huge smile on his face, dancing, putting himself in different situations. Very creative and very well done. But that just shows you where we are in society, that someone like that already has an immense following before he even made a basket in the 2024 NCAA tournament. We're definitely in a different world when it comes to that. Yet the Oakland story and Gelke, that still is something you can book every March. A name, a person that you knew literally nothing about as a college basketball fan, which I assume you are, and I am. Yet here you are in week one of the tournament saying, this guy's amazing. Where did he come from? He's a transfer from Division II. He gets his one shot at Oakland, and he sets an NCAA tournament record for threes in the first two games of a player's career. That's what dreams are made of.
It's that's really what March Madness is our dreams unfolding game after game after game after game. I never thought that I would talk to Ian Eagle so much about TikTok, but you just never know where life will take you. I hope you are able to just at least learn more about the portable washing machine, just maybe experiment so that, like you said, research. You're in a position to where next time you can speak from a position of authority. Tracy doesn't catch you by surprise, or whatever the case may be.
You're so right. You're so right. I've got to broaden my horizons. I see myself as a Renaissance man, but that one surprised me, I must admit.
That much is incredibly obvious. Sheba, the gravy race. Thank you so much, Ian. I mentioned the Final Four in San Antonio next year, so we'll see you then. I mentioned I cover the Cowboys. Just very quickly, will they win the Super Bowl between now and next year's Final Four?
You left the hard-hitting question as the last question, RJ. I'll take a pass, but thank you.
You know what? I think they will too. The great Ian Eagle, thank you so much for joining us here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Ian Eagle right here on San Antonio Sports Star, stopping by with RJ Ochoa. If you missed any of that, you can go to sasportstar.com. We call it the Audio Vault, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. Hey, when we get back, we'll whip around the rest of the sporting world. It's opening day. We got some Sweet 16 action and a notable signing in the NFL. But first, I want to tell you about Tri-County Meat Market. It is one of the 4 majors. The Easter weekend is here, and the weather is perfect for standing over the grill. And before you fire it up, you need to head over to Tri-County Meat Market, because a great meal always starts with great meat. Tri-County, they're locally owned, and they are full service. Let me tell you, if they don't got it, they're going to go cut it for you. And if you're ready to up your grilling game with some of the best beef, chicken, pork, fajitas, poppers, prepared foods, they've got it. If you're thinking beef ribs, pork ribs, English crotch cup ribs, or for that Easter day, a big old roast with the ribs in or the ribs out, they've got them. Maybe it's going to be a day out in the park and you're looking for some fajitas, both beef and chicken. They're pre-seasoned and ready to go. Their tri-tips are what I'm going to be cooking, along with picanha, their house-made sausage, their burgers. Have I said enough? They've got even more. Try one of their fancy rubs you're not going to find anywhere else. That's Tri-County. They have what you need with the quality you've come to expect over the many years, and you can always take advantage of that 5 for $25. Don't forget, first responders and our military, you always get 10% off, and the specials are in play every week. 2 locations over on Ralph Fair out on Heavener Road. Head out to Tri-County Meat Market. Put some good meat on the grill, and I know you're going to be thanking me later.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is your home for college basketball's national championship.
On their way to their 12th national title game.
68 teams, Sweet 16, Elite 8, the Final Four. One winner takes all. Hear it all on your home for March Madness. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, presented by Westwood One.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
San Antonio, get ready for CarFest, April 5th through the 7th at the Freeman Expo Hall. Enjoy a car show, driver workshops, entertainment, plus the chance to win a free car. And the best part, admission is free. Learn more at carfestsa.org.
When something happens to your car, you might say, but what you really need to say is something that can actually help.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
And just like that, State Farm is there to help you file your claim right on the State Farm mobile app. So just remember, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Quick, the quicker picker-upper. Bounty picks up spills quicker, and each sheet is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less than the leading ordinary brand. So you can get back to your night. Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with everything I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of dry AMD called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, colors appear dull or washed out. For others, hazy or blurred vision make it hard to see details, like fine print on price tags. Many have trouble seeing in the dark, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to GAWon'tWait.com.
Get the one and done you want for your dog's monthly protection. NexGard Plus, a Foxalon or Moxidectin and Pyrantel chewable tablets. Protects against fleas, ticks, heartworm disease, roundworms, and hookworms. All in one delicious beef-flavored soft chew. Use with caution in dogs with a history of seizures or neurologic disorders. Dogs should be tested for existing heartworm infection prior to starting a preventive. Ask your vet about NexGard Plus chews.
Did you know one of the best investments you can make? It's in yourself. At My Computer Career, in just a few months, you can start your new career in the high-demand, recession-resistant field of information technology. Isn't it time you invest in you and start a career in networking, cybersecurity, AI, or upskill to boost your current IT career? So get the ROI you deserve at My Computer Career, no experience necessary. Start now at mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Public health is more than just healthcare. While a doctor treats individuals, public health looks at the health of a community. At Metro Health, we research the risk of illness and take action to stop the spread of infectious diseases. We introduce prevention and early detection activities that help individuals enjoy healthier lives. We protect against environmental health hazards. Metro Health collaborates with community partners to improve health outcomes because we are all public health. Celebrate National Public Health Week with us. Learn more at sa.gov/health.
94.1 FM,
San Antonio Sports Star.
Punch it! You're riding with Rob and RJ. This is the Morning Huddle.
It's the Morning Huddle on one of the greatest days of the sporting calendar. Yes, it's opening day. Your world champion Texas Rangers get going today. Got the Cubs. You can listen live right here on San Antonio Sports Star. We'll have everything you need starting early and taking you late as our pregame will get going just a little bit after 5 or right at 5 o'clock. No, I'm sorry. About 5, and then the game gets going 6 as the Rangers will be playing on San Antonio's ESPN 1250. Astros taking on the Yanks.
Where would you rather visit, New York or Chicago?
I'd rather go to Chicago today. I'd rather go sit at Wrigley Field. I bet the weather's awful, but at some point
Rob's riding with the Cubs. Wow.
The Rangers will kick off the run, but as we begin the season, hopefully there'll be no new Ohtani news to kind of tarnish what is supposed to be a spring as sprung hope eternal kind of a day. Nothing
like
new.
a true executive for Major League Baseball.
Well, I'll tell you what, I heard Greeny yesterday, and Greeny has rapidly become over the years the kind of the conscience of the sports world. You know, Kirk Herbstreit's the conscience of college football, but Greeny's kind of the conscience. He kind of represents the middle-aged dad bod guy. You know, been there around the corner, seen it and done it. You know, we'll forgive some malfeasance here and there because we've seen it before. He, like me, doesn't buy the story. The story you're telling me just doesn't make any sense. You can stand by it and swear by it, but it doesn't feel right. And when Greeny's saying it out loud, and ESPN's a broadcast partner with baseball, they need each other. You know that every freelance reporter from every 3, 4-letter, 2-letter network from around the world is digging through everything. There's more shoes that are going to drop because Greeny's right. The story doesn't make any sense. Nobody can steal $4.5 million out of your bank without your knowledge at some point. I just refuse to believe it.
Not only without your knowledge or consent multiple times, okay, but to the point that we're over a week now into this, allegedly haven't pressed any kind of charges, right? Like,
and that's the next and most damning thing of all. No one has been called in to investigate.
It's very strange, and we're admittedly connecting dots that aren't technically connected yet, but you leave room for that interpretation. And just because opening day is here does not mean the story will fade away.
No.
Yes, everyone will have a good time. Everyone will eat a hot dog today, whatever. But like, this is not going anywhere. I do think it's amazing the way some stories get covered. You know, if this was, I mean, I don't know who to say, but you have to imagine it would be way more. I've had MLB Network on all day. This hasn't been a story. You know what I mean? I've had, ESPN all day. This hasn't been a story. It's opening day. The sport's biggest star, its most, paid star, the richest contract ever handed out in the history of North American sports, that was just handed out and was done so to a player for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Just no one cares to talk about. You know what I mean? It's amazing. I mean, it almost feels like the code. It's impossible to not feel like the code red has been ordered.
So that's the Dodger land. But in the world of baseball, we're kind of an Astros town. I'll admit it. I know what we are. We're, growing up in San Antonio, you had your options as baseball fans with our brand new Paragon cable system. You could turn it over on a TBS and hear Skip talking Braves. We can go to WGN and watch the Cubs. I mean, that was our national. That's how we got our games. And in the 90s, the Braves, they owned the place, man. I'm trying to figure how many league championship series they went to in a row.
This is the Astros have, I believe, matched this.
So they're right there, right? This is, and I look back on those Braves days, like that's hallowed ground, man. Like Greg Maddux is going to be with the FOMO kicking in. Maddux is with the Blitz today at the Circa as they're celebrating opening day there in Vegas. The Blitz is there. You want to meet them on time. There's still time to get a cheap hotel. Go to sasportstar.com. They're at the Circa. We can give you 20% off the room rate if you remember the Minix 20 code when you go there. But those were the days. And here sit the Astros on the verge of something that, was so much part of my childhood because it was so long. I mean, every year they were there. Today, Framber and Nestor go at it. Framber Valdez and Nestor. And when we talk about the Astros, it's not about who's pitching, but who's not. Garrett Cole and Justin Verlander, normal type starter guys, not there.
So just so we're clear, the Braves began the run you're talking about with at least NLCS appearances.
It was like 8 or 9, right? It was all
9.
decade. Yeah, 9. There we go.
It was 9 in a row, beginning in 1991. They at least reached the NLCS every single year through 1999. They lost the World Series that year, and then they made it only to the NLDS, bunch of losers, and then back to the NLCS, and then the DS 4 more consecutive years after that. So, except for 1994 is the one run. So I'm sorry, 95 through 99 is all elite baseball. I mean, again, they have that 94 year that's kind of weird in the middle there, but the Astros are looking for their 8th straight ALCS appearance.
And the similarities are close. I mean, to be this good for this long, you have to have solid pitching. And, of course, the legendary Braves crew. Altuve's the modern-day chipper. I mean, the big bat when you needed it. And they've had some guys come and go in between. So the similarities are great. And here come the Stros, who are odds on again to at least contend, if not be standing tall there in October.
They are the favorites in the division, and their pitching situation, you mentioned Framber, La Grasa today. They've got JV, who's on IL. They have Lance McCullers, who probably won't be back till after the All-Star break. They have, Luis Garcia, who probably won't be back till after the All-Star break, but they do have Christian Javier, who has reportedly lost 15 pounds. And
where did he put him?
I don't know.
I didn't know he had 15 to lose, right? Quite frankly. I like the thick dude.
He may have put them in Game 7 of the ALCS.
Would you say that today, like the Stros and the Yankees would be akin to Godzilla versus King Kong? Would you say it would be the likes of a blockbuster movie? Would you say that, RJ?
I would not, only because I wouldn't say that only because Godzilla and King Kong, as I understand it, even though I've never seen any of these, are equals, are peers.
They are both pretty. They both have their attributes. Yes, one breathes fire, and one can climb mountains and charm pretty women. So
yeah, the Astros-Yankees thing is more of a one-sided affair thing in terms of one being awesome and the other not.
Well, I was hoping you'd go with me down this Godzilla and Kong.
Why?
Analogy.
Why do you want me to go with you?
Because I have Fandango tickets that I have saved for the bitter end. I have. Well, they're not tickets; they're codes. And the Fandango is the site that you can go book your movies online. So we're just going to give you the code, but you got to use them to go see the movie, and it is tonight. You want to go see Godzilla X Kong, not VX. The tickets are available if you get on the phone right now, 656-3776, 656-ESPN, and tell Edwin what a great job he's doing. And the fifth person to say that. We'll go caller number 5, Edwin. The fifth person to tell Edwin what a phenomenal job that he's doing. We'll get the tickets to go see Godzilla X Kong, much like the Astros and the Yankees. Tonight, we have our Sweet 16. Is there a team playing tonight, maybe not tomorrow, tonight that can beat the University of Connecticut Huskies?
Tonight, Arizona.
Arizona is the team playing. Because if you look at your brackets tonight, we have the East and the West on the left side of the bracket. I don't know why. That doesn't make any sense to me. If you're going to do the brackets.
Arizona's the only one. I don't have any faith in North Carolina. I don't have any faith in Iowa State. I know that you would die for them, but I don't.
They're my most likely subtext kind of team to go get it done. And as we chime in and follow the women's quickly on the heels, the Caitlin and the Iowa Hawkeyes will not play again until Saturday. I think it's a mid-afternoon game. They're taking on Colorado. Her presence has been ridiculous as far as TV coverage has gone. When she shows, people watch. And we saw the pull away last weekend, 2:00, middle of the afternoon tournament in full force. She kicks in and she plays in the most watched game since the last Final Four. And that's pulling people off of NCAA men's basketball to give you what the viewership is for her. A truly extraordinary event. And again, it just proves, man, good ball, we'll watch. Mm-hmm. Would you, if you were her, Ice Cube?
Nah, but I would leverage that.
The Big Three have offered her $5 million to go play against the old men.
No, I wouldn't do that. But
this
I would
smacks of Billie
that.
Jean King and what's his name back in the day. She would hoop. She would destroy some of those old men. Take the money and go embarrass them just for a year.
And I don't think so. I would take the money by way of parlaying it into a WNBA contract. That's what she should do. She should be highly compensated to play at the highest possible level.
I'll tell you this. I'm 53-year-old Sharif, and I see Caitlin dribbling around out there. It's time to retire. The last thing I need is my grandkids to see me get crossed up by a young. No, I can't do this because it will happen. She's that good. She'll break an ankle. These old dudes will end up at a Rosti because I'm telling you, I'd retire. I'd like, we're playing who? No. She's like 19. No. That she would. It would be phenomenal. It would be the best thing possible. Up the offer. Just ask her to come play for a month.
Be a lot of business decisions happening if this were the case. I think is the most kind way to say it.
Well, we're rapidly running out of time, RJ, and you have 1 minute and 20 seconds to disseminate the kind of knowledge, the kind of uplifting thoughts that only you can offer to our greater San Antonio listening audience. I was talking to a guy yesterday. He goes, "Where's your stick go?" I said, "All the way to Uvalde, all the way south to Mathis. You're going to be listening to us across the bridge as you're heading into Austin. And if you're going to Houston, just keep us locked in. We might take you all the way through Katy." So that being said.
You had a stick. I mean, it was just fun.
So I hand you the stick, not Joe's stick. Although I'm not sure who has Joe's stick because he's in Vegas. But I hand you the controls for the last 42 seconds. Go.
It's Small Friday, so you've got that Friday energy going on here today. Make it a great day. Whether you're going to watch, some Sweet 16 basketball today, whether you're going to watch opening day, have something delicious for lunch. Have the extra sauce. Have the beef. You know what I mean? Go the extra distance. Pet the dog. Hug the person. Say goodbye. Walk up for the kiss. Stand in the rain. Do whatever and however you want today, because it's March 28th, 2024. We only get one of those as a human race. And I'm glad that I got to spend a lot of it with you, Rob, and with everybody who is here listening. And I hope you all spend it with whoever you want.
This is Jim Rome. Have a take, don't suck on 90.